Hi, this is Celeste from Hex and Arcane. I wanted to do a reading of the police interview transcript from Robert Pickton, who was a Canadian serial killer who claims to have killed about 49 women. He, at some point, I believe, wanted to make it an even 50, but messed up. So, before I give the transcript, I'm just going to give you a little bit of information about Robert Pickton. Robert William Pickton was born in Port Coquitlam, British Columbia in 1949. He was the son of a wealthy pig farmer and grew up on the family farm. Pickton was a troubled child and he was diagnosed with schizophrenia in his early 20s. He was also a heavy drug user and alcoholic. In the late 1980s, Pickton began to prey on the vulnerable women of Vancouver's downtown east side. This was often what they called working women or prostitutes. He would lure them to his farm under the pretense of giving them a job or a place to stay. Once they were there, he would drug and assault them and then kill them. He would then dismember their bodies and dispose of them on the farm. The disappearances of the downtown east side women went unnoticed for many years. The police were reluctant to investigate, believing that the women were simply prostitutes who had run away or overdosed. However, in 2002, a tip from a confidential informant led to Pickton's arrest. Pickton was eventually convicted of 6 counts of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. He died in prison in 2016. And he's suspected of, or has been tied to the murder of at least 49 women. The case of Robert Pickton is one of the most disturbing in Canadian history. There are a lot of more details, which I'm not going to go into here. You can look him up, but I am going to give you the transcript of his interview with the police from 2002. I'm not reading this to glorify what happened. Some of these details can be really disturbing, so keep that in mind if you want to listen to it. But I wanted to just read the transcript just for information, because I'm interested in these things. If you don't want to sit and read the whole document and you'd rather listen to my voice, then here you go. So this is between currently Sergeant Bill Forty and Robert Pickton. And this is quite the long document. So this may end up being a really long transcript, or it may end up being more than one part. We'll see. Okay, actually, this interview took place on February 23rd, 2002. Sergeant Bill Forty. Just have a seat. Yeah, just have a seat there. Okay, so you got some juice down there this morning? That's right. Was it fresh juice? Yeah, it's orange juice. Orange juice. Okay, never got a chance to introduce myself downstairs, Rob. My name is Bill Forty, and I'm a sergeant, and I'm with the RCMP. I'm a police officer, okay? But while we're here today, I don't want you to get all caught up in official titles or anything like that. My friends call me Bill, and I prefer that you call me Bill, okay? Okay. Now, is it okay if I call you Rob? Yeah. Okay, Rob. Like I said to you, Rob, I'm a police officer, okay? I didn't mean not to say anything to you on the way up there. It's just, I wanted to wait until I was in the interview room here with you so that everything that I say to you is recorded, because we are being video recorded in here today, okay? There's a video recorder up there, and that's for your protection and my protection, okay? Before I start talking to you, Rob, there's a couple things that I want to make sure that you understand, okay? One thing that I'm going to tell you, Rob, is that I'm going to treat you with respect here today, okay? I'm not going to be mean to you, and I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to get physical with you. I'm going to treat you with respect, and I'm also going to treat you with dignity, okay? Because if I was sitting in that chair, that's how I would want to be treated, quite frankly, okay? And I'm also going to give you my word that nobody else is going to treat you physically. Okay, nobody's going to hurt you or try to hurt you or anything like that. All right, I give you my word on that. All right, you understand that? Okay, because I'm a police officer, though I do have a job to do, okay? You were arrested yesterday for murder. Right. For a couple murders, right? That's what they say. Okay. Mm-hmm. You were arrested yesterday in at the work site, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, by a fellow, and you were told that you're under arrest for two murders, and that's what they say, yeah. Okay. And that's actually what's happening is, charges already have been laid, information is the actual charges that get sworn before an officer of the court and the police have done started to do a pretty thorough investigation. What they've done is they formally charged you with two murders, all right? And you were told about those yesterday. In addition to those, I was told about them today. That's beside the point. I mean, I was charged yesterday, but I was told about them today. Okay, you were arrested yesterday? Yeah. Yeah, okay. In addition to those two murders, Rob, the police are also investigating, obviously, the disappearance of, approximately 50 workers in, oh well, from the downtown east side. Okay, now I see you're laughing there. Let me clarify something, okay? Okay. You haven't been charged with those 50 murders. I don't think so. All right. Anything can be. Okay, well, I'm here, not here to trick you. Oh. All right, and that's why I'm explaining things to you here. You have been charged with two, all right? And the investigation, as you can imagine, it's pretty significant, you're like the Pope for Christ's sake. and But the one thing that I'm obliged to do, and other police officers are obliged to do, Rob, is when you're being investigated for something, we're obliged to tell you what you're being investigated for. And that's why you were told yesterday and or this morning about all the other murders that you're being investigated for. Now, I didn't say that you've been charged with those murders, okay? Just that I want to make sure that you've got that clear in your head. Now, I know that yesterday when you were brought in, that you spoke with your lawyer last night, I guess, right? Uh-huh. Okay, now your conversations with your lawyer are privileged, right? What? What what that means is that you don't have to tell me anything that your lawyer said to you, all right? Yeah. You have an agreement that's between each other. You're the person that's obviously in this situation. No kidding. She's the person, no kidding, that give you, yeah, I know, I can't imagine how you feel. Probably got a million questions going through your head, and my job is to answer some of those questions today here for you. Right. But when you saw your lawyer gives you advice, okay? And you don't have to talk to me about what that advice is. I'm sure you know what it is. And quite frankly, I'd be very surprised if it was anything other than, don't talk to the police. Yeah, I was aware of that too. Good. And generally, that's what the advice that they give. And you know what? I'm not going to badmouth your lawyer or suggest anything to you to try to change your position because you get your advice from a lawyer, right? My job as a police officer is to come in here and try to find the truth about what your involvement is in this, humongous investigation. Obviously, Rob is a police officer, and as a person, I would like you to tell me exactly what your involvement is, right? If any, in this massive investigation. I don't know what's going on. Okay, and I'm going to explain a lot of those things to you, Rob. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to be patient with me, all right? Because there's a lot of stuff for me to explain to you, and I want to make sure that I do a good job. But one of the things that I really, really want to make sure that I'm confident with and that you're comfortable with is that you understand the seriousness of this investigation, all right? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so you understand that you were charged with two murders. That's what they say, yeah? Yeah, well, you have been charged, okay? That's what they say. Okay, the police, what they've done is they've gathered evidence and they've met with Crown prosecutors, and based on the evidence as it stands now, they've decided that yes, the evidence is at such a level that, it's in the public's interest for us to lay in information or lay a charge. Okay. Okay, do you understand that? Yes. All right, and based on the way the investigation's going and the way that the evidence is coming in, you're also suspected of being involved in the disappearance and murder of the other girls. All right. Well, yeah, and I know it might seem humorous, but and I guess and there probably is a side that you want to share with me, but I'm just obliged to tell you that, and I'm going to treat you with respect and dignity, Rob. I'm telling you that up front, okay? One thing that I do want you to know, and you understand this, and I'm sure, is that in Canada, there are certain things that we're required to do by law, right? Like, for example, you drive a truck, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, before you drive a truck, what do you need? You need a valid driver's license. All right, so you understand that. So that's the law. The law says that if you want to drive a truck, you need a valid driver's license, all right? In Canadian law, there's also something else that you don't have to do. All right? Quite simply, Rob, one thing that you don't have to do is that you don't have to talk to me. Right. Okay, because the law considers me to be a person in authority, right? This is a criminal matter, obviously, that we're here for today. And these are very, very serious allegations. And as a police officer, as a someone who is a policeman, right? I can get subpoenaed in court, any court in the country for that matter. I've been in courts in different provinces, different jurisdictions, different cities, different towns, okay? And I can give evidence, all right? I mean, I can give evidence. I can get called to give evidence on what takes place right today between you and I, all right? Mm-hmm. So it's important to me that you understand that you don't have to talk to me, and that anything you do say could be given as evidence because we're being video recorded, right? And you know what, Rob? That's not only for my protection, that's for your protection as well. Right. All right, and I'm sure you can appreciate that, right? And you're probably glad it's there at some level, I would imagine. Well, not much I can do about that anyways. I mean, it's here or there. Yeah. I'm not trying to hide anything, but no, and you know what? I thank you for that. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, all right? So basically, the way I see it right now, and I want to make sure we're on the same page, you know that I'm a police officer, all right? That anything that you say to me can be given as evidence, all right? That you don't have to talk to me. Mm-hmm. All right. That right now, yes, you have been charged with 2 murders. Yeah. All right, and that you're being investigated for upwards of 50 other disappearances and or murders, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, in your words, Rob, can you explain to me what that means to you? What that means what? What it means to me? Yeah. Hogwash. Pardon? Hogwash. Hogwash. Okay, tell me more. That's all I can really say. I can't tell you much, like I don't know nothing about this. It could be set up. Mm-hmm. I guess what I'm wanting to make sure of is that we're on the same page here as we go through, because we've got a lot of stuff to go through. So I want to make sure you and I are on the same page insofar as who I am and what my job to do here. My job here today is simply to find the truth, all right? All right, but before I do that, I want to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from, because I don't want to show you any disrespect, and I want to make sure here today that I treat you the way I would want to be treated if I was sitting in that chair. There's nothing to say. I haven't been told nothing. Okay, let me ask you something, Rob. Why do you think I'm here to talk to you this morning? Well, you just said that you want to ask me questions because you want to see, but I don't know what to say. I'm mind baffling, and I'm just a working guy, just a plain working guy. That's all I am. Mm-hmm. Now I got all these charges. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's a little far-fetched, isn't it? Well, we're going to talk about that later, Rob. What I'm going to do is go through it, a lot of this investigation. As you can imagine, Rob, this investigation is huge. It's massive. I wasn't joking when I said you're as big as the Pope earlier, all right? But before I do that, Rob, and I don't mean to overkill it, but it's real important to me to understand you. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, that's one of the reasons I'm here today, is to try to understand you. So I want you, in your own words, though, to tell me why you think I'm here talking to you. Then in comes Sergeant Jim Hunter, who says, "Can I see you for a sec?" "Sure." And Sergeant Bill Forty leaves the room for about 20 seconds. "Thanks, appreciate that, Rob. That was one of my partners." Mm-hmm. Just knocked on the door there. The reason that he's knocked on the door is that your lawyer called here this morning for you. Yeah. Were you expecting that call? No. Okay, do you want to call him? Do you want to call him back or her back? That's possible. Do you want to? I guess that's my question. Please. You do. Okay, absolutely. I'm going to promise you one thing okay here today. Mm-hmm. I'm going to shake your hand on it because I'm a man of my word. I'm going to treat you with respect and dignity here today. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to treat you the way I would want to be treated if I was sitting in that chair, all right? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go get you, take you downstairs. You can phone your lawyer again, all right? Yeah. And I'll shake your hand on that and give you my word, okay? Thanks. At this point, both of them leave the room for 14 minutes. Okay, where were we? So you spoke with your lawyer there. Everything's all okay? Yeah. Who was it on the phone? Some lady, I guess, lady. Oh, do you know her name? Not offhand. Do you know it was a lawyer? Yeah. How do you know it was a lawyer? 'Cause I talked to her yesterday. Oh, okay. Excellent. All right. Now I can imagine, like I said to you, what I'm hoping to achieve here today, Rob, is simply to have a better understanding of this entire investigation. And quite frankly, to have a better understanding of you as an individual and as a person. All right, because the person sitting there right now is important. I don't know whether or not you sometimes ask yourself what kind of person you are, but, well, I'm just a pig man. That's all I got to say. You're just a pig man. Okay. One of the things that I've got to do is obviously go over this stuff with you. But before I do that, there are some other things that I need to cover off. So I have a better understanding of you. Now, you're comfortable then with having spoken with your lawyer. You're happy with what your lawyer said to you? Yeah. Okay, so you understand what your lawyer said to you? Yeah. Okay, because generally their advice is not to talk to the police, okay? That's right. Now, not unlike when I guess in the early 80s there, you were involved in an investigation with the police and you made a decision at that time to go and show the police where a number of cars were buried. Right? You were cooperative, right? Do you remember that? Yes, but there were no vehicles buried. Pardon me? There were no vehicles ever buried. Oh, okay. My understanding was that I'm just going on what I was told, and I guess the reason I'm telling you that is simply to underscore that my brother was beaten. Your brother was beaten? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about. That's here nor there. All right, let me say this, I guess. This might be a good way to put it, Rob. You were told by your lawyer not to talk to anybody, right? Mm-hmm. And then you spoke with another police officer the last couple of days? Yeah. Okay, and Rob was mad at you for doing that? Or, I'm sorry, your brother was mad, Dave? I don't know. Okay, no, my understanding was through some of the other investigators that he gave you shit for that. I don't know. Okay, I guess my point being is that, you make your decision on what you want to do, whether or not you want to talk. Your brother might say, don't talk to the police. Your lawyer might say, you don't talk to the police. Everybody might say, don't talk to the police. But at the end of the day, Rob, that decision to speak or not to speak is yours, all right? As a police officer, I have to give you that opportunity to tell your side of the story if you want to. But that decision to speak with the police or not to speak with the police is yours. All right? It's important to me that you understand that. I can't force you to, or I can't make you say anything you don't want to say. You get your advice from people, from lawyers, from family, from friends, and then it's up to you to do what you want to do, all right? Like somebody might say to me, Bill, don't eat junk food. It's not good for you. It's not in your best interest to eat chocolate bars because it's going to make you fat. And I might still eat a chocolate bar. That's my choice, right? And like this situation, you're given advice, all right? But at the end of the day, you're the person sitting in the chair and you're the only one who can make a decision on what you do want to do. Well, at this stage here, I can't really say for anything really because I don't know anything. Okay, and that's my job, Rob. My job is to come in here and explain some stuff to you, and then once you've a better understanding, you can choose whether or not you want to explain that stuff. All right, because there's going to be your choice. I'm not going to force you to say anything. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. Nobody can ever make you do that. Nobody can make Robert Pickton say or do anything that he doesn't want to do. Whether it's not saying anything or whether it's saying everything, okay, that's your choice. And it's really important to me that you understand that, because I'm a Canadian citizen and Christ, one of my best friends played on the Olympic team. I mean, how much more Canadian can I be? All right. And Canada is a very good country, and those rights are very important. And it's important you understand that. But before we get to that, there's some things that I need to know about you, mostly for administrative purposes, Rob. But I'll confess, make a little confession myself here to you, partly because I'm interested. I'm interested in getting to know Robert Pickton a little bit. I'm a student of human behavior, all right? One of the things that I enjoy about my job is I get to talk to lots of really interesting people, and I like to learn about people. Quite frankly, it's very, very interesting. You know, we all have hobbies, we all have interests. One of my things that I find interesting is people, and how do people end up the way they end up. Now, quite frankly, Rob, at the end of the day here, you could be, I'm just a pig farmer. You could be just a pig farmer, or you could be somebody very, very important. You know, so I got some background stuff that I'd like to cover off here with you. Now, some of it I already know, some of it I don't. Stuff that I know I'll quickly jot in. What they do is when they have huge investigations like this, they keep statistics, so they can look at different types of offenses and different types of people in order to understand them and get to know them a little bit, all right? Whatever that means, I don't know. It's okay, whatever. Okay, now before I do that, though, let me ask you something. Let me ask you one thing, okay? What do you think of me? What's that? What do you think of Bill 40? Well, you're a human being just like I am. We all walk on two legs and you breathe the same air, and just because other people get higher than other people, I ain't a college graduate and you probably have, and otherwise we're all the same. I agree. We use the same washroom, we use the same drinking water anymore. I can't say more than that. About all I could say. My line of pigs. Pigs that are brought up for meat. Yeah? Anything more than that, that's what animals are for. And I'm the bad dude. Yeah. But that's life. Life goes on. We're only here today. We're not here tomorrow. We're not here forever. You know what? You sound a lot like me. I have a line that I say to a lot of my friends. Life is not a rehearsal. Yeah, another thing is if I could turn time around, change a few things, whatever I did wrong, but I don't think I ever did anything wrong. I wouldn't change my life very much. It's funny you say that. I look back on my life, when I think about my upbringing and, things that changed my life really. And, I look back, and probably the worst thing that ever happened to me is I was 18 years old and I'm used to be a jock, right? A hockey player. And I was drafted to go to try out for the Hartford Whalers in the NHL. And then I broke my shoulder. As a result of that, I broke my hand twice, my arm, my cheekbone. I ended up playing in the minors, Rob. But I never achieved my goals or my dreams in life. It just never worked out that way. I thought it would work out when I was, in my early teens. And I look back on my life, and that's probably the worst thing that ever happened to me. What is the worst thing that ever happened to you, Rob? Got knifed back in 97. Tell me about that. Not much to tell you. It's all black and white. It's all black and white. I'm a bad dude. It's the name of the game, I guess. And they nail you to the cross if you can. I mean, when you push against the wall as far as you can go until the wall moves back, you move back with the wall. Interesting. You take him to the cross and you get nailed to the cross. So if I was holding up a mirror, then I think what I'm hearing you say, if I was holding up a mirror in front of you right now, Rob, and you said describe yourself as a person, how would you do that? Well, we wear the same clothes, same shoes, just different sizes. That's it. Males and females were just built a little different. Otherwise, we're actually the same. Yeah, that was it. All right, now that's on the outside, all right? That's right. You're talking about, we're all kind of look the same. Tell me about you on the inside, Rob. What kind of person are you on the inside? Like, which way? Anyway, We eat the same food. We go to the same toilet, the same washroom, same everything else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I've seen people die earlier than others. Cancer. Mm-hmm. So on and so forth. My mom died of cancer. My mother did too. Yours did? How long ago? 1979, April 1st. What kind of cancer did she die of? Spreading cancer. Brain? Spreading. Spreading. Oh, it was in her body, so it was pretty bad, obviously. Did she die in the hospital? Yeah. How old were you, Rob, when that happened? I don't know. So you said 79, all right. What was your mom's name? Louise Helen. I'm sorry? Louise Helen. Louise Helen. Same last name as you? Yeah, they were married, eh? How did you get along with your mom when you were a child? How did you get along? 2 peas in a pod. Oh, is that right? I had a good relationship with my mother, too. So you guys were close, obviously. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Do you miss your mom? Well, do you? I do, yeah, I do. Tit for tat, yeah. I look back on my life, and my mom, I've got a brother and 2 sisters, and I look back on my life and I consider myself to be a really hard worker. I've got, faults like everybody, I guess, but I guess my best fault is that I'm a hard worker. I can work for 18 hours a day and, weeks on end, and I pride myself on being a hard worker. Some people aren't like that, and I give all the credit to my mom because my mom was a hard worker, and she took care of my brothers and sisters and if I look back on my life, she's a person I respect most in the world. Mm-hmm. So who do you respect most in the world? Who do I respect most in the world? I worked hard. Mm-hmm. Got close to my mother. Mm-hmm. What qualities did you respect in her? How does that word out? Pardon me? How did that word out? What does that mean? What did you like about your mom? Strong. Mm-hmm. Strong. Mm-hmm. And when you say strong, what do you mean by that? Strong mind, strong willpower. When I think about my mom, I always describe her as hardworking and a good woman. Mm-hmm. How do you think about your mom? Same way. Same way. Same way. So when your mom had cancer, was it a quick death or did she die slowly? 4 months. 4 months, huh? Did she die at home or in the hospital? She died in hospital. Were you able to be there when she died? Well, I was around. I didn't know where I was. You weren't able to go to the hospital or be with her, though? Because were you working or... Yeah? Taking care of the farm. On the farm? You were taking care of the farm? Yeah. Yeah. What about your dad, Rob? He died back in 77. Mm-hmm. January 1st. January 1st. My mother was born in March 20th, 1912. Mm-hmm. Dad was born in 1896. Mm-hmm. What was his date of birth? My dad? Yeah. Unknown, born in England. Oh, is Pickton an English name? Mm-hmm. My mother was born in Saskatchewan. So was my mother. So was my grandmother. Raymond's Creek. I'm sorry, where? Raymond's Creek. Raymond's Creek, yeah, small. It must be a small town. Just outside Swift Current. Okay. Did you get there often? How did you get along with your dad as a child? What's that? How did you get along with your dad as a kid? Good. Were you around when he passed away? Yeah. How did he die? Old age. Okay, just he had a pretty good life, didn't he? Yeah. So your dad died first, and then your mom died after of cancer. She was alone. Oh, too bad. Was she lonely? Yeah. No, it's kind of funny. Half-heartedly, I always joke around with my friends and about how I'm going to die. I've always kind of said, oh, when I die, I hope it's listening to you two driving you, along the freeway, and I hope it's quick. In December last year, I was out driving on the northern part of the island on my way up to do a help out on an investigation. And I was listening to you two, and I lost control of my car and went into the rocks and rolled my car a couple times. And I still can't figure out why I'm here because I probably should have died that day, So I was kind of like, I almost called my own death. How do you want to die? I don't know. Old age, probably. Like your dad. We're here as long as we're here for. Yeah, and there's a reason we're here for. There's a reason, you say? There's always a reason between everything. Well, I agree with you. I agree. Sometimes ask myself, why did I break my shoulder, and not make. I told you about the worst thing that ever happened to me. And I ask myself sometimes, why did that happen? A lot of my friends have gone on and made millions of dollars, and I didn't, and I'm proud of who I am, but I ask myself why? Why did that happen? And I guess the answer I always find is everything happens for a reason, but sometimes we search for the reason. What do you think the reason that you've ended up here today is? Don't know. Don't know. We're here today. You're not here tomorrow. Life is not a rehearsal. You sound just like me. One thing that I do consider myself fortunate is I've got a couple of kids, Rob, a couple of little rascals that keep me up at night and drive me crazy in the morning. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me was the birth of my kids. I look back on my life and, I might have ended up, Christ, I could be in that chair, Having kids changed my life. Probably the best thing that ever happened to me was having kids, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. What's the best thing that's ever happened to you? I don't know, work. Mm-hmm. Went on a holiday once. Where'd you go? Kansas City, Missouri. Mm-hmm. Had a return ticket. Mm-hmm. Cashing in up there, that was in 1974. Yeah. February. I think it was February 8th I had a ticket. Mm-hmm. By United Airlines. Mm-hmm. Cashed it up there. I had $200 cash on me and traveler's checks and a return ticket. But I cashed it up there. I had a chance to work for $40 an hour when I had to work up there. I don't know, from holidays. I had to go back in Canada to get to cash it in. I was 24 at the time. Couldn't rent a car, and George Washington was giving cherry pies away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went by bus to Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to Chicago. Chicago's a dirty town. Mm-hmm. Lots of blacks over there. Not that I'm prejudiced or anything. But you have to, you gotta be careful there at nighttime. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because there's no gas. Now, you can get if you can get $2 or $3 of gas, 2 or 3 gallons of gas, you're lucky, because there was a gas war. Mm-hmm. I mean, different pen pals all the way around, going from place to place to place to place, meeting all these people. Yeah. I was gone for 6.5 weeks. I was engaged. Mm-hmm. But she couldn't leave her job, and I couldn't leave my job. I had to get back to the farm. Mm-hmm. So she's probably married off by now and everything else. Her name was Connie Anderson. Mm-hmm. She's probably married off. She got kids and everything else. Mm-hmm. That's a long time ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's probably married off. Mm-hmm. But I had to get back to the farm. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed myself. Yeah? And I never get there. I'm sorry, pardon me? I never got down to the States again. Mm-hmm. Well, that's life. You said that you couldn't rent a car and they were giving cherry pies away. What do you mean by that? George Washington chopped a cherry tree down. Yeah? And giving cherry pies away. Every time you go into the store, somebody's got to give me a cherry pie. Uh-huh. Did you have any cherry pie? Yeah. Do you like cherry pie? No, it's all right next to rhubarb. My favorite is pumpkin, I was going to say. I don't eat any vegetables. You don't eat vegetables at all, just meat? Yeah. What's your favorite kind of meat? Pork. That's a silly question, eh? Of course it is. So how did you meet Connie? Pen pals. Writing back and forth. And then you hooked up with her down there? How long did you spend with her? 5 weeks. Did you enjoy it? Yeah. When did you get engaged? Down there. Like right away or? Mm-hmm. Like automatic love, and you just knew this was the girl? Yeah. What did she look like? Tall, blonde, very nice. Mm-hmm. 5'10", 11. 5'11"? Wow. Heavy set. I mean, nice size. Nice body. Nice. Mm-hmm. 140 pounds. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you guys were together for 5 weeks? Mm-hmm. And then she said she couldn't come up? No, she was supposed to come up, but she never did. What happened? Her parents wouldn't let her come or what? No, she couldn't get time off work. What kind of work did she do? She worked she works in the Bay. She was a head one in the Bay. Oh, so she had a big job kind of thing. She wanted me to stay down there, and I couldn't stay down there. Why not? Because I had to run the farm. What about Dave or your sister? No, not my sister knows nothing. My brother nothing. Did you explain to them that you met the girl of your dreams? Well, shit happens. It does happen. So when you and Connie were down there having a... Tell me. That's in Pontiac, Michigan. That's right, yeah. Okay, General Motors has a plant there, I think, now. What kind of stuff did you and Connie do? Well, we just go here and go there, meet different people. She's not a bar scene or anything. I'm not either. Sightseeing and traveling around. Yeah. What was your favorite thing to do there? Going out. Enjoying ourselves. Just having fun, Yeah. Just enjoying each other's company. Yeah. Kind of thing, yeah. Connie ever meet your mom? No. Because your mom was still alive in 74. Yeah. Did you tell your mom about Connie? Yeah. What did your mom think about that? It's all right. It's cool. So she was supportive of you guys developing this relationship? Yeah. Yeah, what about your dad? My dad always on the go, keep the farm going. So what did he think about Connie? Who? Your dad. Whatever. Never really talked to my dad much. So you guys didn't have a good relationship as kids? No. Just didn't talk a lot? Yeah, we were working. Always working. So your mom was the one you were closer to, eh? You're lucky. Some people don't have that relationship with their moms. No, no problem. Very close to her. Got a picture of her? No. You don't have any, or no? Do you look like her? Never looked at it that way. Well, my sister looks like her more than me. Linda, tell me about Linda. Well, not much to say about her. She went to school, Catholic school. She's growing up. That's about it. That's about it. Never me and Linda was close. I'm always working on the farm. She's always like the highlights. That's good. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed herself. When you say like the highlights, what do you mean by that? Well, she's like she likes to go out, go here, go there. Not that I'm against anything. But she's like, she went to school, private, university, everything else. And myself, I don't have any problem with that or anything. I think it's good. But like I say, some people can make it right through school. Some people can't. Yeah, my brother has a university education and stuff, and I don't. And it's always kind of one of the things I wish that I had done, gone to school. But, once I started playing sports and then started working, it became more important to me. And maybe someday I'll go back to school. But, I'm always kind of glad my brother did it. But I wish I would have done it too, What did she take in school? Lawyer, I think. She's a lawyer? Well, she a lawyer, what do you call it? Sells properties now. Oh, realtor. Yeah. Makes tons of money, I bet. Oh, I don't know. That's her own prerogative. Yeah. She just does what she wants when she wants to, but I don't have no problem with that. So was she a hard worker on the farm? No, she never worked on the farm. You mean she grew up on the farm but never worked on it? Yeah. That seems kind of bizarre. No, she's just herself. That's what she wants. So no big deal. I don't have a problem with that. My brother bought the first machine in 1974. Dave. Yeah. So, the year that you met Connie? Yeah, this was the fall of 74. Tell me about Dave. Well, hardworking guy. Yeah? What should I say about him? Is he a good guy? Yeah. Good brother, supportive? Yeah. Does he abandon you? Tell me about that. No. I think about my brother and I. Man, did we have some fights. We're friends now, but boy, I tell you, growing up, someone would have laughed at us and thought those guys aren't very close. Well, we always had the odd quarrel. Yeah, everybody does. Yeah, but I enjoy his company. What kind of things do you guys do? Like what? You say you enjoy his company, like doing what? Working together. I like working. So do I. What do you like about work? Anything in general. Framing houses all the way up to flooring, fabricating, anything. That's about it. There. So Dave's a good guy and you enjoy his company. Yeah. You were never close to Linda, who's your best friend? In what way? Anyway, any good friend. What kind of friend are you referring to? Girlfriend? Boyfriend? Well, I got some close buddies that if I was ever in a jam, in the middle of the night, I could call them and say, "Hey man, I'm in trouble. Can you come help me out?" They're friends of mine that I know would always be there for me, good, bad, indifferent. Those are my good friends. And, 4 or 5 guys that I consider good friends. That some I've known for a long time, some I've only known for a little while, but I consider them good friends. People that, if they were in a jam too, I would help them out, unquestionable. No questions, they are my good friends. Yeah, lots of friends. Who's your best friend? Everybody. I don't hold anything back from nobody. Male or female. If they're in a jam, I help them out. Yeah. I even got stolen stuff off me, and I got right back there and help them out again. Maybe someday they'll help me, even if they're gonna steal from me. And someday they're gonna be in the same boat. What goes around comes around. You got it. What qualities, what things do you like in your friends? In which way? Well, some of my best friends are hard workers. They're honest. Doesn't have to be honest. What qualities do you like in your friends? What things do you like? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't knock anybody down. You don't like anybody to get down? No, I said I don't knock anybody down. Don't knock anybody down. I'm sorry. Well, that's a good quality to have. Thank you. Because someday you want to expect the same for in return. Even if they do steal from you. What qualities do you disrespect in people, Rob? People stealing. But the problem is I will look at all the time. People I know steal. If you haven't got money out there, if you don't have money to buy it, you don't need it. But otherwise that, like I says, we all wake up all up in the morning, go to sleep at night, which you's always in the same bed. Someday you won't wake up. But the sun still comes up. It doesn't come up on you. That's the only difference. No, not necessarily. It still comes up. If I'm 10 feet under, it's still going to come up. That's true. You're absolutely right. It's still going to come up. My mom's going to shine. It's interesting when you say stealing. I talk to people sometimes, and the word stealing has different meanings to different people. Some people, if you ask what do you mean by stealing, Bill, some people steal money, they steal stereos, they steal TVs, other people steal dignity, steal respect. Stealing is an interesting word. It's an interesting concept. When you say that you disrespect people that steal, what do you mean by that? Well, if you have tools and you depend on your tools to go work and you don't have them, you can't work. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have your tools, you can't work. Yeah. And the foreman says, "Hey, that's not my problem." So you got to go out there and get them again. Yeah. And even if you leave them on the job site and they're all locked up in containers and trailers and all that. Yeah. I built a house in 74, 4,000 square foot house. 84. Where'd you build that? Oxford and Fraser, Coquitlam. It used to be a church with a house on the side. So I renovated the whole thing, tore it all apart, rebuilt it. But life goes on. I guess you just build a house and you do this and you do that. You die tomorrow and another person's born. Life goes around and around. Yeah, now you said to me the worst thing that ever happened to you was getting stabbed. Yeah, that wasn't the worst thing. What was the worst thing? Tore apart by 2 pigs. Tell me about that. I think it was 75. I was trying to breed a sow. It's a big pig. I know she's in heat. Anyway, I brought the boar in there to breed it. The boar turned around, didn't want any part of it. So then I put that one back in his pen, brought another one out. I guess I never locked the pen good enough. Jumped out of the pen, both boars started fighting. I thought they were going to kill each other. So I got in between them, and instead then they went after me, got all slashed up. I broke them up anyways, so went down to the hospital. That was around July 75. I went to the hospital, got myself to the hospital, went down to get sewn up, got me half sewn up. They asked what happened. I said I got mauled by 2 wild boars. They cut all the stitches apart, said, "We can't do nothing for you." So they wrapped me up and says, "Go home and rest, legs up in the air for the next 3 weeks." Gotta let it drain. I said, I can't. I gotta operate a farm. They said, you gotta have somebody else do it for you to run it because you can't do it. Anyway, that was July. That's when I crawled and got a tractor. I got power in the right leg, but no power in the left leg. But it is when I have to put a brake on, I have to use my hands to push my knee down to activate the brake. I finally got to the hayfield. I took the people off the hayfield and put them in the barn to look after the animals. I tried the hay, went on the tractor there. I couldn't stop at the store because I couldn't get out of the tractor. My leg was just swelled up right. It was hot that day, real hot. I was in a fever, took my t-shirt off, took all my clothes off, took my pants off, but ooze, that stuff is just running down my leg, pus and everything else. But I stayed on the tractor. I got burnt. Heat from the ground, the heat from the tractor, the heat from the sky come on top of you. And you have water blisters on your back. And every time they pop, it runs all the way down your back, just like I got whipped. I kept up there. I kept it. Got burns every time because I was just a cub. The only thing I had shorts. That's the only thing I had on was burnt. Burnt. Another time was when I was 13 years old and I was chased by a black bear. They didn't quite get me out of that plum tree. That was in the fall. When I was 13. 78. I got mauled by a big Angus bull. That was the summer of 78. That was a scary feeling one time there. Because you see, there was grass on the ground, solid grass coming right up in your feet, right in front of your eyes. And the grass goes on top of the back of the animal. Turn the other hoof, and if your arm's out there, rip your arm right off. But those are the good old days. Those are the days when I could say I got scars and I enjoyed myself. I couldn't move for 3 or 4 days that time. I was all black and blue. Any more than that, I don't know. Had my truck crushed once. I got crushed. Working on a Bobcat. Safety released. I thought I unlocked the safety, but I guess I didn't. Came down and crushed my hard hat. I just barely got out. Tell me about your horse. Which one? The one that was in your trailer. That's my horse. Born March the 20th, 1977, 4:28 in the morning. I killed it in 1981, December the 21st, day of winter. Reason, helping 2 girls out. Tanya Carr, no. Joanne Hunt and Tracy. They had two horses. One was Anglo-Arabian, one was purebred Arabian. It was born on my mother's birthday. The reason I put it down, because them horses were little mares and mine was a stallion, 1,400-pound stallion. The horse kicked my horse in the back leg. If the bone's broken, I can repair it. Cost me $5,000, but you can't repair a knuckle. A person can get a replacement on a knuckle and baby it. A horse can't baby it because that tear and twist wrong, and that's just adds broken again. A horse is not like that. I trained that horse to do everything. I could let that thing lay down, right down flat when you get on it. I took it to shows, and that horse there, I looked after it. So I took it. I got to the veterinarian to put it down. I couldn't do it. Jim Bryant to put it down. 1981, December the 21st, 5:30. 5:45 p.m. Somehow keep it. So I got a head mount. Took me 11 months to get it back from the taxidermist. But I've had about 30, 40 other horses after that. Trying to get another horse to match that one there, nothing. It was a beautiful horse. What was his name? Spring Golden. What was his nickname then? Goldie. Beautiful. Never replaced it, I guess. That's right. 1,400-pound stallion. Probably never dreamt of ever getting hurt by those little things, would you? 800-pound fillies. 2 of them. Yeah, they had no place to keep them, so I took them to my place, but again, an accident. We are here today, not tomorrow. The best goes first. That's what they say, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so you used to keep Goldie on the pig farm. How did you get into pig farming? Just through your dad? Yeah, many years ago. Yep. Many years ago. 57, 58. We opened up the first little butcher store. It was on 2426 Pitt River Road. That's where our house came from. Moved. Interesting. We moved the house there back in 1968, the fall of 68, when I was 3 years old. Stood on top of my dad's truck playing with the steering wheel and everything else, so put it in neutral and bought some little pigs, took them out for a ride. Pigs are bailing out of the truck. My dad is running after his truck. It was all make-believe. When I was about 2 years old, 2.5, I want to go back in the house because it was cold out. Couldn't. We used to live on the side of the hill. My dad was always walked with a limp. Always says because walking up and down the side of the hillside all the time. So I helped there. I think, in fact, it was actually short. Or the rats chew the wire or something. I can't remember now. Just take the floor off the bottom to get the floor off, and we had a running spring run into the ground. Yeah. That's where we were getting the water from. Throw the bucket in there because it lets the water out. That's where you get the water from. And if wanted to get a bath, have to heat the water up, you get a bath. There was 9 of us in the cabin there. I think they're all dead now. 9 people in the cabin there. Who are the 9 people? Stanley, my dad Leonard, my mom Louise, me, Dave, and Linda. No, yeah, Linda and Dave. No, me and Linda. My mother was expecting Dave. Your mother what? My mother was expecting Dave. Yeah. I guess I was 1.5 when I was there. My sister was about 3. I think Clifford. I can't remember all. Who's Clifford? My dad's uncle. Were you guys close? Yeah. Yeah. Stanley, I think it was Stanley, right? Stanley died in 1963. The last day of work. What happened? Hit by a drunken driver. Drunk driver. Brutal, eh? Did you ever drink and drive? You don't drink, right? No, I don't. And did you ever when you were a kid? I got drunk once. I was 24 years old. Yeah, I was 24 years old. My own birthday. No, maybe 23. I don't know. 22 to 24, somewheres around that. Because maybe I was 24, because I think it was my 24th. I'm not too sure. Maybe around 23, 24. Anyways, they gave me 7 screwdrivers, and they says only orange juice. And I say, that's pretty strong orange juice. Anyways, the other guy has rye and 7. You see, you've been drinking. I said, how about how I drive because I haven't been drinking? He says, you had 7 orange juice. I said, yeah, I know, a little strong. He says, orange juice and vodka. A couple of hours later, you feel a little lightheaded. I smoked too when I was 4 years old. My mother says, you want to smoke? You want to be a man? So they gave me a cigar. So I smoked the cigar, and that's the last cigar I ever had. Yeah. I used to go behind the TV and smoke. Nothing. Whose cigarettes were you smoking? Hired hands working for us. Working for you guys on the farm? So who taught you how to butcher pigs? Bob Korik. Bob, a family friend? Yeah. How old were you? Around 13 years old. He's a Croatian guy. Anyway, he works at the Olympic meat packers. Olympic, yeah. And when I was 13 years old, I went to the auction sale, bought the first calf. I was going to keep this calf for the rest of my life. And you what? I said I'm going to keep this calf for the rest of my life. Okay. That was before I got chased by the black bear. Yeah. Anyways, I says, came back from school, sleeping with the calf all the time. I might be around 12 before I got mauled by the black bear, but I went to sleep with it. I played with the calf, everything else. Then I turned around and, excuse me, I'm going to keep this calf for the rest of my life. And says, then I came back from school 2 weeks later, the calf was gone. And with everything else. And then I says, around the house there's, where's my calf? And they says, maybe you'll take a walk down the barn. No way. They kill animals down there. No way. No, because it's too, and I told him not to go down there. Told him not to go down there because they butcher animals down there. Anyways, I looked all over, everywhere else, and he says, maybe you want to take a walk down to the back. And I said, no, it's not down there. I told him not to go down there. So I says, maybe it did go down there. They said to me, okay, maybe I'll go down. I'll just sneak around back there and have a look. And I won't go down to where they do the butchering. Anyway, there's my calf upside down, cleaned out, butchered. I couldn't talk to anybody for about 4 days. When you're a scorpion, you have a strong sign. Mm-hmm. Then they sent us you got X many dollars for it. You go buy another one. I said, no, I want that one. Mm-hmm. And I finally realized we're not here forever. We're here for the time we're here for. Mm-hmm. I got this big scar here a couple years ago, tearing a gas tank open. Gas tank exploded, blow side of face off. Mm-hmm. But I'm still alive, but that doesn't make me a mass murderer. But the problem is that's life. Life goes on. Life goes on. Life goes on. Rob, you yourself said it earlier. Everything happens for a reason. Everything usually happens for a reason. How did you get into butchering pigs? How did I get into butchering pigs? First of all, let me ask you, you gotta go to the bathroom or anything? No. Okay, you hungry or anything like that? I haven't eaten anything since yesterday evening. Are you hungry though? Yeah, I haven't had anything. Would you like something? Are you hungry? I guess I'm asking. Doesn't matter. I can't read your mind. It doesn't matter. Myself, sometimes when I'm working, I don't even eat. Okay. That's a problem. I don't know. The lawyer says I want you to tell him to get you something to eat or whatever. I says it doesn't matter. Tell you what, then. Why don't we get you something to eat? Tell you what. If I got a sub, would you want one? Would you take one? I don't need anything fancy. Okay, what do you like? I'm pretty flexible, except chicken. I don't eat chicken. I'm allergic to chicken, believe it or not. I don't eat no lettuce or anything else. I don't eat that stuff. No celery, no lettuce, no mayonnaise, no nothing. You want like roast beef or roast pork or roast turkey, sub on a bun? How did I get into butchering pigs? The most pigs I butchered in one day, 34 head. Wow, impressive. That was December 23rd, right through to December the 24th. I think it was 77. Mm-hmm. That's the most I did in one day. 34 in one day. How did you learn to do that? Though, somebody must have taught you. Or was that Bob, the Croatian? Yeah, he helped me out. He helped me. And the most lamb I did one day was about 12. Mm-hmm. What's the fastest you've ever done one? There's nothing fast about it. Well, once you're good at it, you probably take pride in how quickly you can do it. It's like anything else. There's nothing fast about them. The problem is you're gonna do it. You want to do it nicely. You gotta make it respectable because people gotta eat it. Oh, huh? So nothing fast about anything. Mm-hmm. Myself, I have seen people butcher lambs and goats and everything else, and they don't criticize anything. They don't salvage anything and anything else. They just chop it all up. They don't care how dirty it is or anything else. I like to keep everything clean. Mm-hmm. So the problem is you got to do a clean job because this is for the public. This is not for Tom, Dick, and Harry. So there's nothing fast about anything. It's just time consuming. Mm-hmm. If the water temperature is not right, then it takes you that much longer. Some weeks I was doing up to 150 a week. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't raised on a farm. Mm-hmm. Explain to me how you do that. And bro, what? Give me a free lesson on where you hang them. How do you kill them? How do you do it? Well, you gotta make sure the pot is just the right temperature water. Yeah. That's half the battle. Mm-hmm. That's half the battle beat is you have the water temperature. That's half the battle beat. If you don't got a temperature, you don't do anything. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. So what do you do with the water? What do you do with the water? Pig in there. Mm-hmm. Till the hair comes off. Mm-hmm. Till the hair loosens off, and then you strip the hair off. Mm-hmm. That's about it. So it's still alive when you put them in the water? No, I got my own little handgun gun down there. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's my Hilti. Yeah. Hilti 400. Yeah. When I used that big bores, I did some big bores. Yeah. The biggest one I did was 980 pounds. Yeah? Wow. So was it, you told me how much you like working and enjoyed the pig farm. Rob, what is it that you enjoy the most about the pig farm? Nothing. I ain't in it for the money. I want to get out. Mm-hmm. And everybody else, they just keep, do this one for me and do that one for you. And, and I do them for favors for them just to help them along. Okay. What do you think? You killed 10,000 or 5,000? How many pigs did you kill? Me? Closer to 10 or 5,000? 5,000? 10,000? More than 10, you think? Possible, I don't know. Lots, I bet, over the years. Quite a few. Who's the best butcher you've ever seen? Best butcher I ever seen? Like who? Rephrase yourself. I don't know what you're referring to. Like, I mean, obviously you've been around the farm a long time and you've slaughtered lots of animals yourself and prepared them for people to eat. You're not every normal Tom, Dick, or Harry, so you've obviously been around other people that have done the same thing. Some are good, some aren't very good, right? Who's the best? Everybody got their own certain way of doing things. And there's people, well, I know people come over even hours all night long, everything else. Yeah, like I says, I don't know who is better than the next. But they all butcher animals or whatever, There's lots of people out there. Lots of people out there killing animals and stuff. Yeah, that's what they're for, right? Well, I guess so. Let me ask you something, Rob. How do you feel about being sitting in here and talking to me with me today? All right. All right. Now, I don't have to tell you how big this investigation is, do I? I don't know what's going on. This is a massive investigation. I heard about that too. It's huge. I'm going to tell you that in all the time I've been in the RCMP, I've never seen an investigation that has unlimited people and unlimited money like this one does. I've heard that too. Yeah, after this investigation broke last week, some of the best policemen in the province were brought in and are working on this investigation, helping out. That scene up there, your property, it's huge. And I don't know if you know how many people are actually even working up there. They brought in forensic identification people that are experts in crime scenes. All right, they've brought in forensic anthropologists. Know what an anthropologist is? It's somebody that studies humans and the evolution of man, so that when they're going through that scene, because it's so massive, and they're discovering all these different type of call them bones, I guess. All the experts are able to look at them and say, well, this is one thing, this is another thing, and this is something different yet. So they've got forensic identification people. They've got a forensic anthropologist. They might even have a forensic entomologist there, which is a person that studies bugs and different types of bugs and different types of soil and how that gets to be the way it is. They brought in experts in blood splatter or spatter, people that are trained by the FBI and the best colleges in the world on how to analyze blood and stains and patterns and how they work. And, when they look at something like you and I might look at it and think, well, it looks like blood, but they're able to say how it got there. And, was it like something like a brush, like smudged, or, what I mean, you blow your nose and it falls on the ground, or was it dropped, or was it gushing, like if you took a drop of water and threw it on the wall? Like, these people can tell the difference between those types of stains. They've brought those people in. They've got people from the forensic laboratories, and they're people that come in and are experts in seizing DNA. And we'll talk a little bit about DNA later on. Everybody has their own DNA. Like, you and I have different DNA. My mother was the same DNA as me, though. No, it would be different. Is that right? But if they took your mother's DNA and your dad's DNA and put them together, they'd be able to narrow down your DNA. But it would be different. Like, I know of two twins. They're identical twins, a Wade limb burner and a Ward limb burner. Like, if you looked at them, honest to God, Rob, you'd say, holy jumpin', it's a clone. Like, well, you know how they're doing those cows now? But if they have their own DNA, it's a makeup of in our cell, right? In our cells. I don't know nothing about that. This is, like I said, I'm just a pig farmer, so I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna have to explain that to you so that you understand that. If you have any questions, I want you to ask me, okay? And say to me, Bill, I'm not 100% on what you mean by that. Can you explain it to me? Because that's my job, is to help you understand this situation. Quite frankly, honestly, to help you understand yourself and for me to try to understand you as well in this process here today, okay? So there's a forensic anthropologist for the bones, entomologist for the bugs. They've got crime scene people here to gather in fingerprints and evidence. They've got blood splatter here, analyzing, interpreting all the different blood, because there's blood everywhere, and forwarding those for analysis. All right, they've got special lights out there, I'm going to show you some pictures later on that fluorescent, different types of things. Like, blood looks one way in a certain type of light and it looks different in a different type of light. There's special lights that these experts have that help them in their investigations, all right? And as you know, that whole property is secured now. There's policemen there 24 hours a day, right? And they're going to probably be there for a year. A year. Oh yeah, what they've got to do, and it's really this, and like I said, when I heard that too, I said the same thing. I said a year. But what they've got to do is, because they've got to take all the dirt down, plus it looks like what they're going to do is they've set a first target at 25 feet. So they go down to the ground level, right? And then down 25 feet. Really? Like, below the surface, right? And that's why it's going to take so long. Like, if there is the ground right here, right, and you and I are standing on this, well, they're going to take the ground down to here, but they're also going to down there. That's why they've brought in all this $1 million equipment, some of the same stuff. It is funny, we were laughing that the United States had over in Afghanistan looking for bin Laden, You might have saw it on the TV. They had all the ground searching equipment. What are they looking for? Bin Laden, what are they looking for anyways? Well, they're looking for any evidence that, will help clarify your involvement in this investigation. Now, it's going to do a couple of things. It's going to, help everybody get closure to this, and it's going to, help in painting a picture about what you are too, the kind of guy you are. That's one of the things, one of the aspects to that investigation. Another thing is that they're doing, and I don't mind telling you, is some of the people that, are friends of yours. That's why I was curious as to who you thought your best friends were earlier. I got lots of friends. Yeah, hundreds of them. Yeah, you're kind of like me. You've got a lot of people that you're associates with. I'm a little different. I've got, 4 or 5 good friends that I consider my good friends, because we have a lot of friends, but some people have good friends. I'm lucky I have good friends that I know would never do anything and would always be there for me. I'm pretty lucky to have those people. One of the things that they're doing, obviously, and at this, in addition to doing this monstrous job at your farm, is some of the people that were associates of yours have been interviewed, and were they, and I'm not even sure if I want to use the word friends, where they were people that may or may not have been close to you, now have an understanding of what's going on. What's going on? Well, you're going to be charged and go to court and convicted of at least 2 of those murders, all right? This investigation's huge, and it's going to identify all the other ones you're involved with, or any of the involvement that you had. And you know what, Rob? I'm not saying that you killed all 50 of those girls. Maybe you did. Maybe you've killed more. Maybe you've killed less, And you're the only person that's going to tell me that. And, quite frankly, I wouldn't believe other people. The only person I'm going to believe is you when you make that decision, all right? What they're going to do is talking to people that you've been around, people that have been associates of yours over the last 15 or 20 years, with the resource. And when I say resources, I mean with the people that are now involved in this, and with the backing of senior management and Vancouver City Police and the RCMP, they now have the amount of police investigators to go out there and talk to everybody, And initially people were a little bit reluctant to talk because you were still out, You weren't charged yet. So people think, well, it's so on. He's not going to get charged. Why would I want to cooperate? But once people realize that, yeah, he's being charged with this, and and he did do those things, now they're cooperating, saying, holy jumping, I'd better be honest with things here, and I'll be honest with you too. A lot of those people are expecting you to be honest here with me today. And when I said to you earlier, that decision to be honest or not is yours, and nobody's going to take that away from you. Some of the best policemen in the province are working on this investigation. I've never seen anything like it, quite frankly, and to be honest with you. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the evidence about DNA, because when you have DNA, and I'll draw you a picture here. Okay, when you have DNA, let me tell you about a case and I worked on, okay? I used to work in Surrey, right? I was in a serious crime section there. In Surrey detachment, and I used to work here. And in 96, there was a girl, and her name was Helen Cook, and Helen lived up in Surrey, up in North Surrey. And one night, she was home alone, and a guy by the name of Peter Van Osler. Okay, Peter went to Helen's house. Okay, so then Helen's in her house, and I'll just draw it. So she's in her house. That's Helen Cook. Peter goes in that house and tries to do a robbery. Okay, he tried. He tried to steal from Helen. That's what he tried to do. And they got into an argument because she woke up in the middle of the night and she went and grabbed a knife. Now, remember how you told me that one of the worst things that ever happened to you was when you got stabbed? I think you're probably talking about redacted, right? Or redacted. That was one night, yeah. That was one night, yeah. Was that the stabbing you were telling me about? Oh, yeah. Okay, remember when that happened to you? Like, remember when you saw her grab that knife? What went through your head? I didn't even see her grab the knife. Okay, remember when you started getting stabbed and you felt that pain? I didn't feel no pain, really. Okay, anyway, Helen wakes up and Peter sees her. Helen grabs the knife and they start a struggle. And in that process, Peter takes the knife, goes around the back of Helen like this, cuts her throat like that. Right. Well, what he did is the way he grabbed her like this, right? Like this, he nicked his finger. So not only was there her blood, there was his blood. Okay, so there's it's called pooling of blood on the stairs, and then Helen runs out. She goes out of the house, she ends up dying on the front lawn, and Peter disappears. He doesn't know that Helen's dead. Okay, what Peter did is when he ran up the stairs to get out the door because he had blood on his finger, went up and up the side of the wall, left his blood. So in addition to her blood, her DNA on the carpet, his blood is on the wall. All right, so we call in some experts in blood stain and crime scenes, and they take blood samples from the floor where the stabbing happened. But they can't explain how this blood gets on the wall, right? So they take the samples of that blood on the wall. During the course of the investigation, they identified Peter as just a suspect, all right? They didn't know he was there. They didn't. He wasn't the primary suspect. He was one of the, 200 suspects at the time. So when they did is they followed him and they got his DNA. All right, because we all have our own DNA. They sent his DNA to the lab where they had the DNA from the scene that was in the house, right on the side of the wall, and it's a match. So they're able to say that blood on the wall is Peter Van Osler's. So Peter's arrested, right? And then he's charged, just like you're charged now, and he's charged with the murder of Helen Cook based on the blood on the wall. Now I go to court in New Westminster because I was the investigator and there's no other evidence. The only evidence is the blood. Peter Van Osler got convicted of murder and got 25 years in jail based on a couple of cuts on his finger. 25 years. Convicted. Judge and jury. Going to be in jail for 25 years based on DNA. Okay, your DNA is unique to you, just like Peter's DNA. Peter Van Osler was unique to Peter. Okay, do you understand that? Yeah, but what's that got to do with me? Okay, I'm going to explain it to you, all right? DNA is, so if I said to you that I had your DNA on this marker, right? Mm-hmm. How would you explain that? Well, fingerprint. Okay, if you touched it with your hand, yeah, that would leave DNA. So what you're telling me is that you would have had to touch it. That's right. What else? I don't know. Okay, let me ask you this, all right, Rob? Would it be possible for your DNA to have been in this room yesterday? Anything's possible. No, that's not my question. Would your DNA have been in this room yesterday? Possible. How is that possible? Well, anything can be set up or anything could be put in that's not there. Okay, if you have never been in this room, would it possible for your DNA to be in this room? The answer is no, right? You have to agree with me on that. Not necessarily. It could be set up. Okay, but I mean, in the absence of being set up, It's not possible for your DNA to be anywhere, right? Yeah. Okay, good. I'm glad you agree with me on that because that's an important point. One of the things that I know, Rob, through my experience, is that there is always two, and there is sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 sides to every story. Yeah. There's more than there. There's not always one side to a story because there's always 2 sides or more. That's right. You and I were outside, and we saw 2 girls run down the road, and one of them fell down. You would see what happened differently than what I would see, right? Or if there was an accident, you would see it different than I would see because we're different people, right? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, do you just think back to when you initially had your incident with the girl that stabbed you, all right? Do you remember that incident? Mm-hmm. Now, when that went to the police, there were 2 sides. You gave a story and she gave a story, right? Mm-hmm. There's always more than one side to a story, right? Mm-hmm. I don't care what you've said to anybody else about your involvement with those other girls. Which other girls? Any of the girls. Just a second. What I want you to do, Rob, I want you to have a look at this poster and I want you to tell me as best you can remember. Okay, can you see it okay? Can you hold it there? Hold that up for me. I want you to, let's just walk through them and tell me what girls that you remember have ever been out to your place. And let's just walk through them. We'll start here, okay? And just take your time. Number 1, has she ever been to your place? I don't know. There's so many people coming in and out of my place. I don't know. Okay, this is real important though. I don't know. Okay, what about this? Number 2. If you don't remember, just say no. If she has been, then just say yeah. Number 3, number 4, remember her? She's got a lazy eye. Has she ever been to your place? Number 5, has she ever been to your place? Her name's Mona, Patricia. You remember something? Are you looking at her now? Okay, number 5. Her lazy eye. I don't know what you're talking about. She's got a lazy eye. See her eye? Do you remember her? If she'd ever been to your place, would you remember her because of her eye? Probably, eh? I wouldn't. Okay, number 6. She's pretty. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, she is pretty, isn't she? Number 7. Number 8. Okay, still see it okay there? Has number 9 ever been to your house, Rob? What about number 10? I don't know. Okay, there's a lot of people. Look. I don't know. Okay, there's a lot of people. Look. Well, you know what? I only want you to tell me the ones that have been there. Number 11? Well, I think I've seen her around somewheres, but not at my place. Number 14? I think I've seen her around somewheres. Where did you see her? Something, but with, I don't know if she isn't she black and blonde hair there? Maybe I thought she had blonde, so I thought she was blonde, but maybe that's not her. There's so many people that look like her. Yeah, well, that's interesting that you remember her, though. Maybe I've seen her around in Vancouver, if I'm right. Yeah, has she been to your place? No. Okay. Number 12, ever been to your place? She's pretty, too. Yeah, she is pretty. Has number 13 ever been to your place? No? 14? You've seen her around, but you don't remember? There's so many people. 15 ever been to your place? Really, none of them have, not that I know of. Well, let's just take our time and walk through. So you're 100%. 16? 17? Has number 18 ever been to your place? She's pretty, too. Yeah, what about number 19? I'm sorry, did you say 18 had been to your place or no? No, I said I think she's pretty, too, I said. Okay, has 19 ever been to your place? No. What about 20? She's real pretty. Sure is. And these are all missing, they're gone. So she's never been to your place, 20? How about 21, 22, 23 ever been to your place? Was she's a dark girl, isn't she? No, she's looks sometimes black, sometimes Spanish, sometimes Spanish, maybe Spanish. Has she been to your place? I believe her name is Sarah. No. Remember her being there? 24, 25, 26, 27. 26 looks like some like Lynn, but that's... Lynn who? That one that was staying at my place. Wish it was her? Do you wish it was her? No, it looks something like her. I'm bad for remembering faces if you don't mind me asking. But I remember dates real clear. But there's so many millions of people out there. They look so much alike. Everything else, I mean, there's 27. Ever been to your place? Because I'll tell you something. If you were the person that was responsible for any of these girls missing, of course, you would remember them. You got to agree with that. That's only common sense. What about 27? Which ones am I supposed to charge for murder, if you don't mind me asking? No, I don't mind at all. That one. Who the hell is she? We're going to talk about her. 28 ever been to your place? No. 29 ever been to your place? There's so many people coming in and out of my place all the time. It's 30? I don't know anybody with glasses. Okay, think about her with no glasses on. Just try to picture her with no glasses. Has 30 ever been to your place? No. Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you. What about 31? Has she ever been to your place? Take your time. No, she's pretty. She sure is. 32 ever been to your place? I don't think so. She's... but I guess there was not much we can say. I mean, myself, we were born in the face there, and we got 33 ever been to your place? Did you say 32 hadn't been there? No. 33? No, as far as that goes, none of them have ever been. Okay, 34 ever been to your place? 35 ever been to your place? She's pretty too. Yeah, 36 never been to your place? Okay, 37, 38? She's pretty too. Has she ever been to your place? No. 39. Look closely at it. You sure? She's nice looking. She ever been to your place? What about 40? No. 41. Has 42 ever been to your place? No. Has 43 ever been to your place? No. You're 100%? Yeah. 44? No. 45? Number 47 pretty too. Yeah, was 45 at your place? No. 46? Look carefully. No. Pardon. No. Okay, 47. Do you remember her at your place? No, but she's pretty. Okay, just take a double check, make sure. No. 48? No. Okay, you've just had a look at all those pictures, right? Have any of those women, can you give me some sort of explanation as to why any of these women could have been at your place? Why another witness might say they know for sure they were at your place? No way. No way. Okay, are you 100% sure on that? Yeah. So you're telling me that none of these women have ever been to your place. Do you want me to leave this with you for a second and you can rack your brain memory? I don't know none of them. So you don't know any of these girls. Have you ever had sex with any of these girls? Did I? Not that I'm aware of, no. Have any of these girls ever been alone in your car then? Some witness might just say that they were in your car. You were alone with them? No, because I never had a car. Or your truck, I'm sorry, a vehicle of transportation. No. Are you 100% on that? Yeah, 101%. So you've never had any of these girls at your house. You've never had sex with any of these girls, yes or no? No. And you have never had sex with one, with a redhead. Which one? But not there. Who's the redhead you had sex with? I haven't seen her for a while now. I never seen her for a while. And now, what the hell's her name? Roxanne. She's a prostitute? She's a working girl. Okay, working girl. Is she the only working girl you've ever been with? No, there's probably a couple others. Okay, what are their names? I don't know, but I had Roxanne at my place. I took her over to the palace, but I don't know where she is or where she went to, wherever. So she disappeared? I don't know, but her name's Roxanne. When did you have her over to your place? A year ago. Who introduced you to her? I met her. Nice person, real nice person. When you said you had sex with her, what do you mean you had sex with her? She was at my place there, go back and forth by bus to Vancouver. So when you say you had sex with her, what do you mean by that? What do you call sex? You know, one thing I know is through my experience that different people have different definitions of sex. For some people, sex is a girl getting on top of a guy. For some, it's a guy getting on top of a girl. For some, it's, oral sex using your mouth. When you say you had sex with Roxanne, what do you mean by that? Well, she was nice. Nice person, nice personality, nice everything. But I don't know where she is now. Maybe we gotta add her to the poster. Should she be on the poster? Oh, she's at my place, but I don't know where she is. Okay, so when you say you had sex with her, right? Are you talking about like putting your what do you call your penis? Your dick, your cock? What do you call it? I don't know. I don't know. So you're just talking about putting your dick inside her, in her mouth or vagina. What did you have with her? I don't know what you're referring to. Well, I guess I'm just wondering, when you say sex, what are you mean when you say that, well, I had sex with her? She gave me head. Okay, head, that's one way. Stayed overnight, took her back in the morning, took her to the bus stop. Okay, so she came back to your place. Mm-hmm. So she gave you head, and then what? I took her back in the morning. Okay, but after she gave you head, what happened? Tell me about that part. Nothing. Nothing to talk about. I mean, nice. I know she phoned. She tried to phone me back about 3 months ago, and she went to Abbotsford. Then I heard she was moving back to Vancouver, and yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah, so what? What do you have? Who's your girlfriend now, Willie? Or Rob? Who's my girlfriend right now? You got a girlfriend right now? I mean, obviously not Dinah, but Nancy she's moved out. Uh huh. So what kind of sex life did you guys have? Never. You never had sex with her? Just helping her out. Just helping her out. Okay. Who was the last girl you had sex with? Probably Roxanne. Mm-hmm. So that was you haven't had sex then about a year ago. In a year, about a year ago. And that was in maybe 10 months ago. She gave you head 8 or 10 months, and you haven't had sex since. Okay, nice person. Mm-hmm. She was going to go for treatment, and she had a dislocated back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wore her out on the dance floor. I mean, she liked dance and everything else. Yeah, she wanted me to dance. I don't dance. Yeah, you're not a big dancer, are you? I don't dance. Okay, I'm just a regular guy. So when you have your girlfriends over and you have sex with them, what type of things do you do? Okay then, what's your favorite way of having sex? It doesn't matter. Anyway, in other words, I'm not fussy. You're not fussy, all right. But I haven't had it for a while. You haven't had sex in about how long? Just about a year. About a year, eh? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's funny, when they do studies, on people that have, been identified as having killed lots of people and hurt lots of people, they always look back on their lives and something happened to them. They were younger in terms of relationship or something where things didn't go well. All right, they look back, and it's one thing that the experts can say when you look back on your life. Is there a time where, tell me about your first sexual relationship with a girl? Not much to say. Now, when I was in school, a lot of girls went to school with me and wasn't interested. Mm-hmm. So tell me about the first time you had sex. I can't remember. Okay, tell me about the first time you were with a prostitute. I didn't even have sex with Connie either. But the first girl was going out with. Mm-hmm. Don't know. I had a good memory, but I don't know. Well, you must remember the first prostitute. I mean, everybody does. It's normal the first time you have a prostitute to remember it. It's perfectly normal. I think about the first time was when I was with Lynn, the one that knifed me. Mm-hmm. Probably my first time, and even that time I didn't know anything. I could only go to sleep. We're just heading home. I just gonna go home and go to bed. I had $3,400 on me, but I think the first time was when I got knifed there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So the first time you were with a prostitute was redacted. Is that what you're telling me? I guess so. And the only other prostitute you've ever been with is Roxanne? Roxanne. And Roxanne. Yeah, she's nice person. Yeah, and she's missing? Is she missing? I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think she's dead? I hope not. Okay, I haven't seen her for a while. Yeah, I hope not. I haven't seen her for a while. Like I said, she phoned me about 3 months ago. Hi, Willie, this is Roxanne. Okay. So I guess what you're telling me then, Robert or Rob, is that none of these girls have ever been to your place, and you never had sex with any of these girls. No, but that doesn't mean very much neither. Well, actually, it means a lot. I'm going to tell you something, okay? The police in this investigation are some of the best policemen in the province. Some of the policemen have the most integrity in the province, right? All right, nothing is gonna... I don't know. And then here comes Dana Lilies. Hi, how are you doing? Not too bad. I just brought you guys some lunch. Oh, thank you. You'll be able to eat something, right? Do you want a juice or pop? If possible. Coke, orange juice? I'll have a Coke too. Don't matter anything. You want orange juice, Coke? What you got? Orange juice, that too. I'll have, thanks. You gotta go to the bathroom or anything? What's that? Gotta go to the bathroom? No, I'm fine. Thanks, man. Just gotta double check and see what this says because I've got allergies. What you got? No, I don't know what I got. Have a look. You didn't eat it? No, no thanks. You don't want it? Do you mind if I eat mine? Go ahead. I'm just plain guy. So am I. That's why I'm taking all this garbage off these vegetables. Well, what do you weigh? How much do you weigh? 175 pounds. Looks like you're in good shape. Not bad, actually. Do you like pizza? Don't like pizza. No? Fattening? No, I like chicken or meat better than anything else. Chicken. Well, I sure appreciate your being such a nice guy with me. Well, I treat people the way I want to be treated, better than being an asshole to them, you know? Whereabouts were you in Michigan? Where else did you go? Detroit? Detroit is Michigan. Yeah, but Detroit City. Pontiac. I see her around there. Yeah, I met my wife in Niagara Falls, New York, which isn't that far. That whole area is so populated now. Detroit, Buffalo, Toronto. It's concrete for like miles and miles and miles and miles. What kind was yours? I don't know. Oh, you didn't know? Mine is ham. What do you think about these peppercorn porks and stuff that Safeway sells now? Sell them decorated up. It's pork chops and yeah, I'm the same. Got go to the can? No, I'm okay. You sure you're okay? Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know where Roxanne's gone. I know about a month ago they say she's in Vancouver there. Month and a half ago. Well, maybe 2 months ago. It was around December, I think. December this year? Last year. Or 2001 gave you a blowjob or head? That was a long time ago. She's good. She's real good. She's real good. Gives good head? She's real good. Nice person. Very, very nice person. So I'll give you a couple of minutes. You can eat that if you like, all right? That's okay. I'm just going to go to the washroom. You got to go? No. I'll be right back. You didn't eat. How's a guy to stay work so hard without ever eating? Well, I like to eat. Just don't eat now this time of day? Yeah, I eat about 8. We can box this up then, and if you want to eat it later, you can eat later. How's that? I'll put it down here. What do you make of all that media this has gotten? Out to lunch. Pretty spectacular, eh? You're like the Pope. Out to lunch. There's been a lot of it around our office, too. When this first broke, you can imagine everybody. They were getting calls to everybody. Actually, I got called into a meeting with some senior guys that I don't know how you do that. Are you with me? When some of us thought that it was at your place, was the media about what was at your house? At the house? Do you remember that? At the trailer, out at your property? I don't know. I wasn't there. No. It was in the media. No, I didn't mean you were there. Sorry, you misunderstood me. There was stuff in the papers on the radio. Yeah, you can't go by what it says on paper. Well, I know that. Tell me about that. People put anything in there. Pay some money. What are the reasons for get some money for drugs? And they'll put anything, any kind of story in there. What do you mean? About the inhaler, you mean? Well, I don't know if it was about the inhaler. If it is about the inhaler or anything, I don't know anything about this here. But anyways, over and above, They'll put anything in the paper, like when Dinah went missing. Yeah. Big thing in the paper. Heard about missing. Dinah's not missing. Yeah, I know that. I know that too. That's pretty spectacular though, wasn't it? One of the, I know Cheryl. I know Cheryl. Cheryl? The one that was in the paper there. I'm sorry, I'm confused. The one that was in the paper, the one that was worried about her. Oh, worried about Dinah, you mean? Yeah, I've known Cheryl for a lot of years. Yeah. I've known her for a long, long time. Yeah, I know her mom. How do you know her? Through friends. Have you ever had sex with her? No, through friends. Yeah, I knew her mom. Yeah, so you know the whole family? How long have you been with Dinah? 7 years, 8 years? Yeah, consider one of your best friends. Nice person. Nice person. Yeah, nice person. Mm-hmm. I've really never had sex with her. Pardon me? I never had sex with her. You never had sex with her for 7 years? Really? Wow. You don't believe me, you can ask her. No, I mean, I don't. I'm not going to say I think you're lying to me. It just seems like an awful long time to be with a girl and never have sex. I might help people out. Yeah, well, that's one thing that I try to help people out. Try to help people out and stuff. What else are you doing for money? Oh, me? Yeah. I just want to get doing pigs. Pigs? What else? That's it. Now, your brother said in the paper something about buying cars or something. Yeah, I buy cars from the Vancouver Police Department. Tell me about that. Well, I buy all the vehicles from the Vancouver Police. Yeah, got a contract there. I get anywhere up to about 70 a year. 70? That's one a week. 70 a year. More than one a week. Yeah. How'd you ever get that contract? I had that contract for about 4 years. For about 3 years, I guess. 4 years. Mm-hmm. About 3 or 4 years. Yeah, so what's the deal? You tow the vehicles for them or no? Just buy them? Yeah, just buy the ones that are up for salvage, up for scrap. Mm-hmm. And you buy it from the other auctions and here and there, Canada auctions and Able auctions and Ross auctions, and ship them out and just peel off whatever you don't want of them, ship them out to the boneyard, and the rest goes to, I just salvage whatever I can. The alternator, starters, this, that, little stuff, maybe a good motor. If it's half decent vehicle, then I bring it over to my place there, strip it out, pull the motor out, sell the motor. Too bad you can't refund lottery tickets or anything in them. And, well, one time there, I got a vehicle there, it had $600 in it. That's all right. That's like winning the lottery. But that's not mine. It's like winning the lottery. Yeah, but it's not mine. What did you do with the money? No, it's not mine. I mean myself. I mean, even if I can find money in there, it's not mine. I can't take it. It's not mine to have. So what did you do with the $600 then? I went back to the guy who had the vehicle. So whenever you find something in the vehicle, then you always take it back to the owners? Usually if I can find them, because it's not really mine to have. I don't steal from anybody. I don't have to. Me, myself, I try to help people out. Like people steal from me right, left, and center, and I try to help and a knife's in the back. Mm-hmm. But now I'll still help up today. Well, you know what? It's good to hear that you're like that, Rob. Yeah, well, the only thing is, if I have to do the whole thing over again, I try and help, even if I get knifed in the back again. Mm-hmm. I'll still try to help. Yeah, so when you take stuff back to the owners, do they ever say thanks, or do they just expect you to do that because the cops had the car, or how does that work? No. The vehicle's from the Vancouver Police. I mean, whatever becomes of them, it doesn't matter. It's already been checked out. I got a one truck I got out from Vancouver Police Department. It had the seat folded in, had a big axe in there, blood all over the axe. I don't know if the police ever did find that axe, if they try and find the weapon on that one, but I opened the seat up and there's a, is it still there? No, it's gone now. Big single-bladed axe, blood all over it. I think they found one out at your place. An axe? Yeah, I think so. Maybe they found it. Anyway, the thing is, that came out, so if that's the one, then they found it. I don't know. It was at my place. It was at the house, front house. No, I thought it was in the workshop. Maybe I was wrong, but maybe it's a different one. All I know is there's supposed to be, a single-bladed axe, and it had blood all over it. It came out of a 1989 Chev Astro minivan. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the back seat was folded together. It was laying right in there. Yeah. But that's, I'm going back about a year or two, almost 2.5, 3 years ago. Yeah. 2.5 years ago. It had blood all over the back rest of the seats and everything else. Now, whatever took place, I don't have a clue, but life goes on. Well, when I took anything from the Vancouver Police Department, they said we don't want anything back. We don't want nothing. So I just take everything, bring everything over, and I sold the one or two for $200 or $300 or whatever else. Now, is your practice to search the vehicles when you get them right away to see if they have mistakenly left anything? I'm bringing so many vehicles. I bring so much in. I go through about 150 vehicles a year. I haven't got the time of day to worry about one needle or one of this or one of that. One what? You say needle? One needle or needle? Needles. Oh, needle. Needles or anything else, whatever, you know what I mean. I'll look at the radio, look at this or look at that, and look at the side of, look at the vehicle shape or whatever. If I can use the front end, if I can use this part or that part or whatever. Did you ever go through the trunk or the glove boxes? Yeah, there's everything in them. Yeah, everything in them. Like what? Anything you want to find. You won't believe what you find in those things. You find this, you find that, inhalers and so on and so forth. Fuck, it's outrageous. Outrageous. Mostly bras, tops, this, that, clothes, people sleeping in them. But now they got tighter security at the compound now. Now they got security there 24 hours a day. Before they never had that. They used to take those stereos out. They take this out, take that out. And I just got off the shelves or left maybe a good motor. So when you find that stuff, is it normal for you to put it on bags and send it to people and stuff? No, I never bother myself. If you bothered with you don't get any work done. God, you'd be doing it all day, I guess, eh? Yeah, fuck. I mean, I bring 2 or 3 or to 4 a day in. Oh, wow. I haven't had the time to bother with it. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Myself, I mean, it's clothes, everything else in there. Everything stays right in the vehicle. I just take out whatever. If I see a good motor or see this or that, that's it. That's all I take out. So you leave everything in the vehicle. I don't take anything out. Oh, okay. I don't take anything out. So you never take anything into your shop? Duh, if I see something in value, I do. Like what? Well, if I see tools or see that or see that or see this or see that, anything that's worth value, I put to one side. Yes, I do. So everything else you just leave in the car. I don't have the time of day to play with everything. Yeah, I understand. No, I was just especially coming that quantity coming in and coming out, and if you're gonna doing 3 or 4 a day, I see so much. You're doing more cars than you are pigs, for Christ's sake. No, I'm just kidding. I go through a lot of scrap. So you said you'd find bras. Is that what you said? Bras and clothes? Clothes of every sort, you name it. It was all there. Everything's there. Like what? Well, clothes, pants, this, that. People live in the cars, everything else. And I think a lot of it's being picked up and they're being brought over and just, some place for them to shack out or whatever. Yeah, now over and above, even the last party that brought their clothes over to me, they brought their clothes over to me, and she was staying in a van, in a car or van, not a trailer, no, a van behind the Cobalt, and says, I just threw all her stuff on the bed. She's supposed to be coming back the next day and do the washing and drying, because all her clothes and everything else. I don't know whatever happened to her. I don't know whatever happened to her. What was her name? French girl. She's a French girl. All her clothes, everything else is still on the bed. And that's all I know. That's all hers. What you say? You said something about the hotel or something behind the Cobalt. What about it? That's where she was staying, in the van behind the Cobalts. 3 or 4 or 5 vehicles back there, staying back there. Oh, she came over and told you that? Yeah, that's where she was staying. Another person was staying underneath the Georgia Viaduct. Who is that? I don't know. She's probably still there. Oh, so not a girl that's on the poster there? No, not that I don't know. I can't tell one from the other. There's so many of them back and forth. Well, I'll tell you what, though. If you were the guy that killed all 50 of those girls, you'd remember them. So I'll tell you what. You know what? One thing I'll say is that I've talked to a lot of killers. And you do remember those heightened things because they're important things in your life. So if that was the case, then you would have remembered them. No, I don't. Believe me, I don't. Unless you're in absolute frenzy or something. I don't remember any one of those. Really, I don't, honestly. I'm telling you the honest truth. Well, that's all I want is I want you to tell me the truth. I appreciate that. I'm telling the honest truth. I'm telling you that. And anything about this inhaler and everything else, I don't know nothing about this. Tell me about that. Tell me what you know. I don't know nothing about it. Really, I don't. Honestly, I don't. My lawyer told me about that when I was at the lawyer's office, and I says if it came back from that big black bag that was in Nancy's room, that girl was staying in the van, she brought it over to me. And Dinah will straighten that up for you. She knows all about it. That's all I do know, because Dinah knows her, and I never had sex with her. She stayed over one night, and then I gave her $100 bill and never had sex with her. And everything's in that black bag came from her. It's a big long bag with everything in it and everything else. Now, any more than that, I mean, a lot of this stuff is, I don't know. I've got people coming in and out of my place like you wouldn't believe. There's more people coming in and out of my place than cod liver pills. Now, this place is, you won't believe how many people, even after hours. If you don't believe me, you can talk to Nancy. She was staying there for almost 5 months. She was scared. She says, Willie, don't go outside or anything else, because she says she's terrified even when I worked in the barn at night. She says, I can't go to bed till you come in. I phoned the paramedics up on Lynn when she was staying at my place. She was overdosed, everything else. Well, I was going to kill her. Why did I phone the paramedics up? Why did you bring the police department and everything else in there? Do I look like a murderer? The innocent people go to jail too. Believe me, they can. They can be set up. People out there will set anybody up for anything. And I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to get away from anything, but I'm telling you the honest truth. You can take me as I am, or you can take me anyways, whatever. I don't know. I mean, I can't read anybody else's mind. I'm myself, and the problem is I'm sorry about living. I'm sorry about the way I am, but I still be out there to help the next person when they need help. And I don't care about this party or that party. If they need a hand, I will help. And I hope to get the same thing in return. Now, any more than that, I can't help you. There's quite a few people know about my gun. I never kept anything for a secret. I kept open-minded, and I kept everything to everything to everything. Your Hilti gun. No, everything. Even my 22, everything else. I never kept any secrets. Tell me about your 22. Well, I had a little 22. I shouldn't be talking because my lawyer's not here. It's up to you. Yeah, because I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't be. But the problem is, I'm open, and like I says, I never kept any secrets. I told everybody about everything. Dave would come over, oh yeah, I got one, I got a 22, and so on and so forth. And it's also, I got this and I got that. Yeah. Only thing is, sometimes I use the 22. I shouldn't be talking, but I'll tell you this. I use the 22. Sometimes I do big bores. I mean, my Hilti thing, my pin driver goes in that far. The head is very, very solid, very heavy. Very, very big bones. Sometimes you have to use 3 or 4 or 5 shots to even bring them down. That's heavy. That would be a lot of work, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, couldn't do that. Then they make a lot of noise. So the problem is I put plastic around it just to quieten the noise down a little bit. I mean, really big pigs. And that's why, and then I figure I put this here little plastic thing over the top of it, but you probably know about that too, right? Anyways, I put that thing over the top of it to quiet it down, but I never used it. So you just lost me. Say that again. We were talking about your Hilti gun? No, talking about the 22. Oh, okay, all right, sorry. Well, they're both 22s anyways, is 22 caliber on the Hilti and the 22 on the other. Yeah. But I shouldn't be talking about that. That's for the lawyer. But anyways, like I says, you could take as I am. You can take me any way, which way you want. You could drag me up and down the road here, and that still doesn't make me remember anything. I remember dates. I remember this. I remember that. Remember faces or whatever. But I don't remember any of these people really. Really, honestly, I don't. Like, you can link me up with them. I'm charged. You can do whatever you want to do with me. That still doesn't make me a murderer just because I don't know them. And as you guys can link whatever onto me, and I can't help that because that's your privilege. I got nailed to the cross. I'm just a plain little farm boy. I'm just myself. But again, I wouldn't change very much. If I had to do the whole thing over again, I'm myself. I'm sorry for living. And, if I can, I'll take my life for any one of those people. Just to have them alive. So sorry. Can I just shake my hand, okay? I want to make a deal with you right here now, okay? It's okay, Rob. Don't apologize for anything. Don't apologize for who you are, okay? We just shook hands, all right? We're going to make a deal, you and I, okay? I'm sorry. You don't need to apologize to me ever again, all right? Because I accept you for who you are. I don't want you to change anything who you are. We're going to make a deal, you and I, right now. I'm real sorry. I mean, I can't help you any more than that, but I can. If I take my life for any one of those people, I would do so. Thank you for telling me that, Rob. Any one of them, just so that... Okay, I'm going to tell you something about myself, okay? I'm an honest guy. I have a lot of integrity. And when I give somebody my word, I mean it with all my heart, okay? I'm going to swear on my kid's head here today. I promise 2 things, all right? I promise to treat you well and with respect. I promise you that, okay? I promise to tell the truth. Shake my hand on that too, okay? Sign my name right here, Bill 40. Rob, I want you to stand up. Stand up right now for me, please. I want you to make me the same promise that I just made you. Okay? You promise to treat me well and with respect, and you promise to tell the truth. Thank you, Rob. Have a seat. Rob, I told you that this was a massive investigation, okay? I just want you to listen to me for 1 second, okay, Rob? Listen to me for 1 second, okay? I told you earlier that this is a massive investigation. I know that. There are some of the best policemen in the province working on this investigation. Some of the sharpest minds are involved in this investigation, okay? I promised you right now I will treat you with respect, and I promise you that I will tell you the truth here today. Robert, I'm telling you right now you did kill some of those girls. I'm telling you right now you took them away from their families, and I'm going to go over some of that, Robert. Okay, I want you to listen to me. And I want you to know that I speak from my heart, okay? I want to understand you here today. I'm not here for 1 second not liking you or holding any disdain for you, okay? But know that I know the truth, all right? I'm speaking to you from today, from the heart. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to mislead you. And I don't want you to say anything for a couple of minutes, okay? I want you to think about what I have to say. Because this investigation is built like a house. It's a house, okay? Remember we talked about Helen Cook? A house is built with a foundation, Rob. And in that foundation, around that foundation are building blocks. All right, and the building blocks of this investigation is DNA. The same DNA that put Peter Van Osseler in jail for 25 years is going to put you in jail, okay? You're going to get convicted on these murders, all right? There's no disputing that anymore. The only thing I'm here to do, though, to try to understand you and try to understand why, Rob. I don't sit here holding any ill feelings towards you or feeling or holding anything against you. Okay, I don't. I don't sit here and hate you. And that's one of the reasons I'm here today is because I have the ability to get beyond the obvious. I know that. I told you that already. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some of this evidence with you right now because girl number 4 here, Mona Wilson, was at your house. That I don't know. Hear me out, please. I know. I already know the answer, and I told you I'd give you my word. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm here on video. I gave my word in front of everybody. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm going to show you right now that you're going to jail, okay? And you're going to go to jail for a long time. And that decision to speak or not speak is yours alone, right? Nobody can make you say anything you don't want to say, Rob, and I'm certainly not going to do that to you. I'm going to treat you with respect and dignity, just like I gave you my word right here. I promise to treat you well and with respect, and I promise to tell the truth. You and I both made that deal right now, so I don't want you to say anything to me right now, because when you talk to me, I want it to be the truth, all right? This girl here, Mona Wilson, has been at your place. I don't know. She has been, okay? I know that. Everybody in this building knows that because there's conclusive evidence. I'm not talking, Rob, about 1 drop or 2 drops of DNA that put Peter Van Osseler in jail. I'm talking about huge amounts of DNA. I'm talking about bloodletting. I'm talking about transfer DNA. I'm talking about passive drops. Irresputable, indisputable forensic evidence, 1 in 42 million chance. Do you know how many people there are in the world? 5 or 6 billion. Her DNA match comes back 1 in 42 trillion. You're done, okay, Rob? You're done on this, and I've spent some time here with you today, and you know what? I don't see you as a monster. I don't see you as the kind of guy that would go out and hurt innocent little kids. I wouldn't. I don't. And if I thought for 1 second that you were that kind of person, Rob, I wouldn't waste 1 second of my time with you. I wouldn't sit here. I wouldn't care. But I don't see you as that kind of person. I saw the way you talked about your mother, you know, how much you love your mother. And I understand that because I love my mother the same way that you love your mother. And I wish my mother was still with me at my side every day. I wish she was here too. And if your mother was still alive and was beside you, Rob, you probably wouldn't be in this chair right now dealing with these issues you've had to deal with because all of your problems started after your mother died. That's when you started killing people. No. Not beforehand? You're telling me you killed someone before your mom died? Okay, Rob, because we both know that you did, okay? So what I want you to do is just listen to me. Remember, you told me you were going to tell me the truth. I don't want you to say any lies to me. I don't want you to say anything that's not true, okay? Because, and you know what? I understand. Let me tell you something else, Rob. I understand your need to lie to me right now because you're scared. You know, deep down inside your gut, you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you don't know what's going to happen Monday. All you know right now is yes, you're a big media celebrity. Yeah, no kidding. You're bigger than the Pope. You're bigger than Princess Diana. You're just like fucking Bin Laden. You know, you're on the front page of every paper in the country today. Every one. In the paper? Everybody knows who you are right now. In the paper today. They put me in the paper. Absolutely. This is done. You are over, okay? Only one thing left, Rob. That is for me to decide what kind of person you are because there is irrefutable DNA evidence that you are responsible for taking these girls. You mean I'm in the paper too today? Yeah, and Rob, you know what? When we look at our lives, we look at the map that's laid out for us. Because there is a map for each of us, right? Everything happens to us, Rob. It happens for a reason. There's a reason that you were on that farm, that you were raised the way you were, that your dad was a hard worker, that your mom was a hard worker, that your sister did what she did to you. My sister didn't do anything to me. She didn't do anything, that's right. You're exactly right. No. She left the farm. No. Hear me out. She didn't leave the farm. Hear me out for a second. She went away to school. She was going to school. I'm not here to talk about her anyway, Rob. I'm here to understand you. And we look back on our lives and we start to look at why we are the way we are. You will look back and you will ask yourself, geez, I wonder why that happened. Why did my mom die? Why did I have the relationship that I had with her? Why did Connie not come up and marry me? When all I wanted was I wanted her love and I wanted her to be by my side. No, not necessarily. That's what you wanted. No, I says I miss her, I still miss her. Yeah, absolutely. You know what? And that's normal. And you probably still miss your mom. I miss her a little bit, yeah. And that's normal. And if your mom was here and if your mom was still alive, Rob, you probably wouldn't be in the situation that you're in right now. And you said a number of times if you could go back and change things. If I could go back, I wouldn't change very much. You wouldn't change very much. You know what that tells me? That deep down inside you have a good side to you. I wouldn't change much. I mean, myself. And you are who you are, and that you still like yourself. Because, Rob, hard workers, people that get up every morning and work hard like you and I, oh, I'm in the papers today. Yes, you are. Do you know why you're in the paper? Because you're done. It's all over. It's all over. And it's over because of all those pieces of that puzzle. All the things that you need to build a case, to build a house are in place. I don't think any of those girls have been in my place. Rob, you know what? I don't want you to say that anymore, okay? Okay. I want you to tell me the truth as a man, okay? And you know what? If you choose not to talk to me, then that's okay. But I'd rather you not talk to me than tell me any more lies, okay? I prefer that, please, out of respect for me. And you know, we shook on it man to man. And I'm a man of my word, and I would like you to be a man of your word. Now, one of those things the investigators have done in this investigation, and I told you about the blood splatter people and how the best investigators in the province and in the country are out there. They're at your place, okay? And they are gathering evidence, all right? They're gathering evidence from in your motorhome or your mobile home, from in the trailers, from in the slaughterhouse, from the workshops, from everywhere, okay? They're bringing equipment in to dig into the ground. They're going to be there for a year, okay? They're going to get everything, every buried animal, every buried human, every buried piece of equipment that's in the yard is going to be discovered. Okay, you know that they're spending $1 million a month just digging. This is the biggest investigation, crime scene investigation in the history of Canada. They're not going to stop spending money. They will resolve this. This is a machine. This is a snowball that will not stop, all right? And one of the things they've done is they've done DNA. They've had people come in and look at the bloodstains and analyze them and look at them, and they look at the patterns, and they can basically write a story based on what they see. It's irrefutable, indisputable forensic evidence. Now, if we were talking about, just hear me out, if we were talking about isolated thing, what then, it wouldn't matter. But when you've got a freight train of evidence coming down the track, that's different, Rob. And this is a freight train, mister. This is a super freight train. And that evidence is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that train's only been going for 2 weeks, mister. A year from now, I can't imagine. It's unbelievable how much evidence there's going to be. All right, this train right now is on the start of the ascent down the tracks, and there's already an abundance of evidence, enough that's going to convict you and keep you in jail for a long time. I'm going to go over some of that. The only thing that matters now is what kind of person is Robert Pickton, because everybody's going to know what you did. Just matters what kind of person are you. And I can't say what kind of person you are. I got a feeling that I think you're a good person because I can see it in your eyes. And see, you look at me in the eyes and I think you're a good person that really does want to help. And I thank you for that. Because if I thought you were the kind of guy that was out hurting innocent little kids, abducting kids like Clifford Olson, that would be different, my friend. And I hope in my heart of hearts that you're not that person that's abducted all those other little kids from the skids too, from the East End too. Because I hope that's not the case. And if that is the case, then I'm wasting my time with you and I'm wrong about you. And I really hope, Rob, that's not the case. Well, kids, what do you mean, little kids? I hope you're not the guy that's been taking some of those other little kids that the media, hasn't got a hold of that. I hope that is not the case. I don't know what that's all about, but I found what you got anyways. Well, what do I got here? You want me to show you? Yeah. I'll show you, okay? This is a forensic laboratory report, Rob. You know what? Let me do better. Let me get you some pictures, okay? Because I want to make sure that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. This is very, very important. Now, I talked to you about DNA, right? Do you know how DNA transfers, the different ways that DNA transfers? Okay, there's blood, right? Semen, saliva, skin cells, transfers. That's all different ways. Like when you and I shake hands, your DNA is on my hand, okay? Do you understand that? Well, the investigators have been out at your property, okay? They called in Jack Mellis. Jack is an expert in blood spatter analysis. He's the best in the province. He's the man. He goes around internationally and lectures, okay? He's in your Dodge motorhome. Dodge motorhome. The motorhome, whatever the heck you want to call it. That'll be a Dodge motorhome. That's what it's called. He's in there, okay? And he's done a forensic examination. Let me turn around here and explain this of a motorhome, all right? Do you remember this? See the 2 beds? And you can't see the other one there. Do you see the line? See it okay? All right, so you come in here and you go down the hallway and there's 2 beds at the end. What we've done, Rob, is we've looked at that mattress, okay? They took the mattress, they've analyzed it. See anything on there? No. What do you see? What do you see here? A bunch of drawings. Okay, what are the drawings around? I mean, it looks like a little dog. It looks like a poodle, actually. I don't know. Actually, what it is blood stains, and it's human blood. Lots of it. It's called bloodletting. Remember we talked earlier about special lighting for different situations that the police use? We talked about for the special lights. It's the same mattress under different light. This mattress in your Dodge, in your motorhome, camper, whatever the heck you want to call it. Now, some of the guys joke around, call it a poodle, but it's not. It's kind of sad, and this is Mona Wilson's blood. So what's that to do with me? I'll explain that to you. Let me explain that to you, okay? So Mona's blood, huge blood pooling, is on this mattress, all right? The experts say that would have rendered her unconscious, the amount of blood pooling there. Because they're experts, okay? I'm certainly not an expert, neither are you, but I'm telling you what the experts say. This is the most respected guy in the province, all right? He's the most respected guy in the province, and that's his expert opinion. This is the wall beside. Now you lift the mattress up, and this is the wall, all right? See this? It's called blood spatter, all right? That's from, I'll read you his report, but that's from impact. Like if I was to hit you with a knife, remember when redacted, stabbed you, that blood would squirt off. So there'd be blood squirting all over the place. All right, that's what it is. This is called transfer blood. Different kind of blood, different pattern. This is still Mona's blood. So she's been this is where she'd been done. This is the corner, zone C. Still, here's the date it was seized. What they've done here, though, they've taken the mattress out because that's crucial evidence, right? Like Peter Van Osseler got convicted on. Want to know what Peter Van Osseler looked like this? Peter Van Osseler got 25 years on that, all right? Continuation right around the side here. See here? Here's the line, actually. You can see where the mattress was lifted from. Here's the other end. See the line here? See the blood spatter? Plastic underneath, garbage bags. This is the floor, blood patterns taken. This is the floor again. See what they do, Rob? Is they take a swab, roll it, and get the blood. But why? What has that got to do with me? Hear me out. I'm going to explain it to you. Her blood is everywhere at your place, right? She's never been to your place. You told me that. This is the floor again, spatter. Now, trust me, this is not from a bloody nose, okay? No, I agree. I agree with that. Cupboards. This is blood from all over the crime scene. This is where she was killed or rendered unconscious anyway. Here's the most interesting thing. I'll just skip ahead. See what she's dragged along at the place? What's that? Blood transfer. Or either that or someone had a lot of blood on them when they went by. So then you either had blood on you or pulled her by. Same thing here. This is a crime scene dream come true, this kind of bloodletting. And I told you how Peter Van Osseler got convicted. This is 10 times as much DNA as Peter ever had. Table, table again, counter, counter. This is the part I want to show you. See again, the underside of the mattress, the plastic's gone. It's funny, that's how Redacted described the place where you had sex with her too. What? Before you guys had the stabbing? No. I'm just telling you that's how she described it. I want you to know, Rob, that like I'm just presenting this to you, okay? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, the stuff that I say about what Redacted said, things like that, that's their evidence. I'm just telling you what their evidence is going to be, okay? That's all right. It's not my my own thoughts, all right? I just want you to know that. I'm just the messenger here, okay? Do you understand that, right? Okay, so we got huge amounts of blood here, all right? But that don't mean I did it. Not yet, okay? I'm going to show you how you know you're going to get convicted based on DNA and based on some other stuff too, okay? Because we both know that you did it, right? And you know it's normal right now to do what you're doing and kind of grasping at that lie, to that straw. I've seen it before in other investigations. You know, I've heard about it in drownings where, someone falls to the water and you know the current is pulling them down and pulling down and pulling down. And there's been people that have been there and stuck out their hands trying to help people. Instead of taking that person's hand, that person that's offering help, you know, they hang on to a stick that they think is going to pull out of the water. And that right now, Rob, that's what you're doing. You're hanging on to a little bit of a lie, hoping it's going to pull you right now. The only thing that matters is what kind of person you are now, because you are going to be convicted on this. So this DNA here all over this place, it's all over the place. It's on the walls, it's on the floors, it's on the floor around the wall, it's on the floor. Just hear me out. It's on the floor around the mattress. It's been analyzed and comes back as Mona. All right, the other things I'm trying to show you. What? That's Mona? That's Mona? You may not know her as Mona, okay? You just killed her. This is a part I want to show you. Let's take you back. There it is. There's her shoes. She had her shoes on too when you killed her. What? But what you did is you put her shoes in the cupboard because they got blood on them too. No. Or someone else cleaned up for you after the fact maybe, but yeah, her DNA is on those too. And the thing is, when you handle something like that, people don't realize, of course, that DNA goes two ways, right? Like when you and I shook hands this morning, when we made our deal, to tell the truth, you know your DNA is on my hands and my DNA is on your hands. That like there's a transfer. Just like how blood transfers, like where you know if I go like this, Rob, my DNA is on the wall, right? And with the way the science works nowadays, they can come in and just their high-tech equipment and they can take that DNA. And what they've done, I'm going to explain it to you because this is really fascinating because I'm not a scientific kind of guy, but it really fascinating for me. When I get to read this, because as an investigator, this is like winning the lottery. You know, nobody else can come in and say, well, my name's Robert Pickton. He's not really Robert Pickton. You're probably wondering, well, geez, how did they even get my DNA? We had your DNA. The police had your DNA, all right? And they've done an analysis. So the first part that they analyzed was the molding. The moldings around the floor and the mattress area. Okay, there was a sock there, I guess. I must have missed that in the pictures. One of her socks was there too, and it had blood on it. her blood, Mona's blood, all right? So this girl that you've never known and you've never had at your place, her DNA is all over, and you can't argue with that. But that, and you're gonna probably ask yourself, how does that tie to me? Because you're saying to me right now, it doesn't. I mean, I don't even know her. Okay, hear me out then. You're probably saying to me, well, Bill, yeah, okay, her DNA is at my place now. Okay, she died at my place. You have to acknowledge that, right? Possible. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and you're saying to me, Billy, I mean that's what you say. Hear me out for a second, okay? Okay. And you're saying, okay, yeah, I agree with you now. The experts are going to say she died there. That's where she died based on the amount of blood. And you're saying to yourself, but Bill, how does that prove that it's me? And you're saying to yourself, show me that, and it's me. And yeah, I'll admit it, because you're a logical thinker. That's what the experts say about you, is you are logical and you think, okay, show me. And then you told me here today that you were a good person, right? So you're a logical thinker and a good person. So naturally what you're going to say to me is, Bill, show me how that ties to me. Right? That's probably what you're thinking. And then, yeah, once you show me, I will accept responsibility. That's what the experts say you're going to do, because deep down inside, you are a good person. You know the difference between good and bad, and let's face it. So my picture's all over the front page. Hear me out. Shit, I didn't do anything. You know what, Rob, you did. I didn't. Hear me out. Please stop it. I don't want any more lies, okay? And you know what, Rob? If your mom was in this room right now with us, if your mom, whom you love and whom you respect, was in this room right now, Rob, she would want you to tell the truth. She would want you to be responsible. She would want you to be the stand-up, solid, good person, all right? She would want you to find balance in your life, because you've gone through life probably where you can't find balance. And you're searching for that, and you don't understand yourself, and you're probably scared inside, because you're a good person that simply wants balance, Rob. We all want balance in our lives. That's all we want, is balance. We want balance. And we want to be loved, and we want to be respected, and that's all you've ever wanted, is to be loved and have balance in your life. That's all I want, and that's all you've ever wanted. And if your mom was here, she would want you to tell the truth and to be a stand-up, responsible guy, Rob. But I didn't do anything. You did, okay? Stop it. Please don't say that anymore. I'm going to show you, all right? And you know what? You're probably sitting there and you're wondering, Jesus, how do I get out of this now? I didn't do anything. Hear me out. That's what you're wondering, right? What are you wondering? I didn't do anything. I don't know her. Okay, you may not know her name. No. You might know her as a different name. No, I don't know her face or nothing else. Well, maybe she looked a little bit different. But you remember her eye, okay? And you know what? It's okay for you right now to be scared. It's okay for you to say, geez, Bill, I don't know her. I don't want to accept responsibility, because this is a scary time for you. This is a scary, scary time. And there are a lot of people right now that think you're some crazy, sick, demented wacko. There are people out there that think that of you. There are some cops in this building right now that think you're some crazy, sick, demented wacko. I'm going to tell you, though, there are some cops that think these girls live on the east side of Vancouver. They're out there selling their bodies. They had no self-respect. They're jamming needles in their arms, heroin, coke, up, down, speed, whatever. They're the masters of their own destiny, and everything happens to everybody for a reason. I've been involved in cases where I've seen girls from the East End stealing from each other, breaking into houses, stealing from innocent, good, hardworking people. I've seen those kind of girls in action, okay? There are different camps in this building right now, Rob. There are the camps that see you as some sick, demented man, some weirdo. Now, I hope that's not the case. And you're probably asking yourself, geez, what are my friends going to think of me? What are the people around me going to think of me? Are they still going to be my friends? Are they going to leave me and abandon me, leave me on my own to go away to jail forever and be alone? I can't work anymore. I can't go back to the farm. I can't imagine what's going through your head right now, other than you're scared. Other than you're asking yourself, why? Why did this happen to me? Why? Probably wishing that you were understood when you were younger, asking yourself, why? Why me? Why have I ended up the way I am? Why have I ended up here today talking to Bill? Why have I taken these lives? Why had I done the things that I've done? I didn't. Because you know what, Rob? You have. And I'm going to say something else. And if you're not asking yourself why, then I'm scared for you, okay? Because then you are beyond help. You are beyond ever understanding yourself, and you are beyond ever anybody else ever understanding you either. You are that weirdo if that's the case. If you're not asking yourself why, and it's normal to cling to a lie right now. I've seen it. I've seen it in kids where we learn it as young kids. Anybody that's a parent sees it. You talk to your parents and they've seen it. I've seen it in my own kids, Rob. I can go outside and, my son's playing outside. He breaks the window. I go over and I say to him, Liam, did you break that window? What's the first thing he says? He says no, because when we're young, we learn to lie, Rob. And right now, this is way out of hand. Well, you know what, Rob? You're right. This is way out of hand. This is very, very far gone. This is the train that's at the end of the track. It's on the tracks. It's picking up speed. And as that train keeps going, there's going to be more and more evidence. Rob, this investigation is really only 2 weeks old on you. And there's already a ton of evidence coming in. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons. The end result of this investigation is inevitable. You're going to be convicted and you're going to go to jail, okay? I can't change that, Rob, and neither can you right now. The only thing that matters now is what kind of person are you? What kind of person, more importantly, do you want to be? You can't change the past, okay? You can't go back, unfortunately, and change the things that you've done. You also can't change the things that were done to you. You can't do that. If we could, everybody in this building would be changing things. That's not the way it works. The only thing you can do, Rob, is you can change what kind of person you want to be. That's the only thing you can change. That's the only thing you have any control over now, is what kind of person does Robert William Pickton want to be? Because you're done on this. Your brother knows it. Dinah knows it. Everybody knows it now, and you know it. They're going to keep going through your property. They're going to find more. They're going to find lots of stuff there. Stuff that you can't explain. You can't explain everything off, Rob. You know that. You can't explain it off in lies anyways. This is over for you. This is over, Rob. This isn't going away. I know you just wanted to balance. You were born into that pig farm deep down inside. You probably loved it at one time. I know that. I know that inside you is that you have some goodness, all right? I know that. Okay. You know what, Rob? You know when your mom died of cancer and that cancer was inside her and it just ate and ate and ate and ate away and kept eating and she got sicker and sicker and sicker and then she died and she was gone? That's what this lie is. It's like a cancer and it's going to kill you, and you're the only one who can take care of that. Right now, you're the surgeon, Rob. You've got the knife in your hand. You've got to cut that cancer out, and you've got to cut that lie out. Because if you don't, it's going to kill you. It's going to eat you, and it's going to eat you, and it's going to eat you. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, and you're going to be asking yourself, why? All you ever wanted was balance. All you wanted to be understood, and I want to understand you, Rob. Before any alcoholic can get help, Rob, he's got to say, hi, my name is John and I'm an alcoholic. He's got to go into that recovery house. He has to say, hi, my name is John and I'm an alcoholic and I need help. Before a fucking drug addict can get help, Rob, he's got to stand up and say, hi, my name is Rick and I'm an alcoholic. I'm a drug addict and I need help. Shit, it's in the paper and everything else. You're done. I can't even go to the fucking courthouse or anything. That's where you're going to go, is the courthouse. You're not going to get released and you're in jail now. You're going to stay here. Yeah, it's going to be hard for you. You're going to have a long, tough, difficult haul. It's not going to be easy. So I'm not going to go back, am I? No. Not on bail or anything else? No, you'll be held in custody. I'll be in custody. You're going to be in custody, in jail, yeah. Until I deal with this here. Well, it's over. It's done. The only thing you can do now is start to put it behind you. And in some sense, you know what? I'm sure you're relieved this is over. This game of cat and mouse is over now. You know, Rob, they've done some of the most incredible things you've ever seen in this investigation that they're doing. You've seen the satellite down when you're saying that girl dropped off her inhaler, her bag. They've got the date nailed down, okay? All right, what would you say if I told you that they're altering the trajectory on the satellites, and you saw that movie Enemy of the State? You know what they can do, right? You saw the movie Enemy of the State? All right, did you the satellites, when they were looking for bin Laden, they were able to satellite right down. I don't watch TV. Okay, well, I'll explain it to you then, all right? All right? They're able to alter the trajectory, the angle of the satellites, so they can look down and they can see a license plate on a car, okay? That's how good it is. And we know the last day she picked up her stuff, all right? Now, you've told me this story. Who's this? I'm sorry, a different girl, the one that left the bag there. She's not here. Is she here too? Yeah, she's here. She's one of those. She's dead. Yeah, she's dead. Yeah. The one that dropped the bag off. Yeah, she's dead. Yeah. Where is she? I'm going to explain this to you. She's dead. Hear me out for a second, all right? Hear me out for a second, okay? She's dead too? Hear me out for a second. No way. No way. I dropped her off at the bus depot. Yeah, okay, you know what? You dropped her off at the bus depot. Is that what you're telling me? What your evidence is that what you're telling me? I did. Okay. She never came back. She was supposed to be back the same night. Yeah, what time of the day did you do that? 9. 9 in the morning. So you dropped her off at 9 in the morning. She slept the night and you took her there at 9 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Where did you guys sleep? In my trailer, in the trailer. Did you have sex with her? No. Okay, I was going to. What happened? It was kind of late in the night and I says I gotta go back to work in the morning, so I tell her I'll take her to the bus depot, the Canadian Superstore, so I dropped her off there. She was supposed to be coming back that night. She never come back. She never left your property. What do you mean she never left the property? She never left your property. I took her to the bus depot. And she was supposed to be back the next night. I gave her $100 bill. Now you mean she came back? Rob, you know what? I feel sorry for you right now, trying to tell these lies. I'm not lying. Hear me out for a second, okay? When you say that you remind me of my son, all right, he's 5 years old. I'm not lying. And when he's caught in a lie, that's exactly how he reacts, okay? Well, I think I better go. Okay, Rob, you know what? You don't have to tell me anything, all right? But you say she's dead? Hear me out for a second. Just let me address one point first, okay? You don't have to tell me anything or say anything to me, all right? I understand that. But I'm duty bound to come in here and talk to you about the case, and that's what I'm going to do. And you're saying she's dead? She's dead, and we're going to walk through some of the evidence here. And you know what? We never even finished talking about the first girl yet. There's a lot more evidence I haven't talked to you about yet. Because I didn't do it. I didn't, and I'll tell you right now. Who did? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I'll tell you right now. She's buried on your property? I don't know nothing about it. I don't. Now, honestly, I don't. I'm being honest with you. I want you to be honest. I am. I haven't seen her in my life, really. You haven't seen her anywhere in your life. You know, Rob, when we go through our lives, all right, there are different kinds of people. What makes you think I did it? Hear me out. I'm going to explain things to you. I didn't even go in the trailer. I'm going to explain things to you, okay? Just because it's on my property doesn't mean very much, does it? What? The trailer, the mobile home. I've never been in there for quite a spell now. So you've never been in that motorhome? You're telling me that too? Not for quite a spell. I've only been in my trailer. I'm telling you right now. I'm letting you tell me. I'm listening to you. And like I says, the other girl there was that black case. I dropped her off at the bus depot about 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm not too sure exactly what date. She's a French girl. What name is her? What's her name? Which one? There's a lot of them. Which one? The one with the black case, the black bag, the black duffel bag or whatever. The one that told you that she was staying in the van behind the Cobalt? Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, and I took that one back to the bus depot and it's like I says, is that the one whom you never slept with? No, I slept with her. Oh, you did sleep with her? Mm-hmm. Did you have sex with her? No, she'll tell you the same thing too. I dropped her off at the bus depot. Where? At the Canadian Superstore, not the Coquitlam station. Where did you work that day? Because you remember dropping her off. You must remember where you worked. I don't remember. Come on in. Hey, Bill, can I see you for a sec? This is Sergeant Jim Hunter. Absolutely. Sorry to interrupt you. Excuse me, Rob. I don't believe this. No way. I can't believe this. How you doing? Did you finish the juice? What's that? Just hang on a sec. I think I might owe you an apology here. Jim asked me, because Jim's a monitor and Jim's my partner. He's mentioned something to me and I said, well, maybe I made a mistake. And quite frankly, I think I did have. Just 1 second. And you said to me that you didn't kill Roxanne? Why, is she missing? No, hear me out for a second. I asked if you killed her and you said, yeah. You said no. And I didn't. Right, you said no, you didn't kill her, right? Yeah. Okay, I might have misunderstood you because when I thought that she was dead all right, and I thought from your impression that she was dead, so I thought, why, did you find her? No, just hear me out for a second, all right? Sorry, I can't believe this. Just hang on. Just hang on. Let me finish. Just hang on. No, just let me finish. I thought if he's lying to me about this girl, about Serena, say, or Mona or Patricia or any of these other girls, then he's lying to me about Roxanne too. It's kind of like, that little boy who cried wolf. I'm not lying. Okay, see, I want to apologize because I got locked on that, and I thought if he was lying about one, he's lying about them all, and that's not the case. That's what people are probably going to think about you, that if you lie about one, then you're lying about them all. You understand that, like, the little boy that cried wolf. But anyway, you want to see these, sure, you can see them. And that's what people are going to think about you. There's today's paper. Hold on one sec. I got to check something. This isn't the right paper. You can read that, okay? Can I see that one, please? It's the wrong paper. I think it's the sports section. This is it on the bottom. This is it. Oh, you're right. That's what it is. It's not I thought it was the lead story. Well, it is here. It's on the bottom. It's the front page. You can read those for a second. Get the idea? Where's the other one? Oh, they're what? Oh, they're both here. Get the idea? Believe me now that you're done? Now, the irony of you holding her picture, Mona Wilson's picture, is that you killed her. You took her life. That crime scene examination is done now, okay? You realize now you're done. It's in the paper as you're charged, okay? You're done. It's over, You're not going to get bail. You're going to be held in custody, You're going to go to trial. You're going to go to jail, and, you may or may not die there. I don't know, okay? You're done. You're asking yourself, gee, Bill, that's great that you got her DNA there. That's great that she died at my place. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't. You know what, Bob? I know you don't believe me. And neither is the jury, and neither is the judge, and neither is anybody that reads the papers, because you know what? Your DNA is with hers. You're done. You're done. Just like we shook hands, your DNA was on me. My DNA is on you. Took samples of your DNA together with hers. You're done. It's over. You're done. Done, 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 like dinner, roast pork. And you can cry wolf to this, right? And people will think you've done them all. It's your choice. You've done, and you have no idea, Rob. You have no idea what those investigators are up there doing. They're digging. They're going to go through every centimeter, every inch of that property of yours. Okay, there's two camps here even. There's camps that say they're buried alive and that they're buried whole, that they're killed and they're buried like as a whole person, right? Just some people think that's what you are because you're a barrier. And there's other people that think, no, maybe you chopped up and ground and skinned like pigs and, we'll find a tooth here and a bone here and, fingernail here and blah, 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 blah. Because regardless which way you did it, it's going to get recovered. They're going to go through every bone on the property, every piece of evidence on the property, and there'll be people saying, oh, no, that's a pig bone, or that's a bird bone, or a cow bone, or a horse bone, or whatever, because you know what? They're probably going to find those things too. But amongst those things, there's going to be the human stuff and the experts, because they're getting paid a lot of money, and it's a high-profile case, right? They're going to get their evidence, and your DNA is with hers. It's all over. At this time, I'm going to take a break, and we will continue with the second half of the interview in part 2.